All right, are we good? Are we live? I think we are. Hello all and welcome back to the Women's Football Chat Live. It's FA Cup semi-final weekend and we kick off the action this morning with Chelsea versus Liverpool. Should be a very exciting game today, and of course with a place at final at stake, should be a very tasty encounter indeed. Liverpool came through Arsenal in the last round to get here. A big scalp, I think you could say, and a big win for Amber Whiteley in that competition. And I think they'll look at this Chelsea game today at Liverpool as an opportunity to really show that they've got what it takes to compete.
Yeah, massive opportunity for Liverpool, as you say. A brilliant occasion for them to reach the last four of the FA Cup. They've only reached the final twice in their history. So tonight, they are playing to reach it for the third time ever. And that would be a massive achievement for Liverpool and Amber Whiteley. As you say, it's a bit of a free hit. They're travelling to one of the best sides in the world in Chelsea, and a side that know how to win these kind of games and have won this competition numerous times. So for Liverpool, they will want to win this, of course. It's a semi-final. They will want to go through and get that day at Wembley for them. But if they do lose, no one's really questioning them. So their job today is to make it competitive and put up a good fight. It is going to be a tough game. But as you say, it's a massive opportunity for some of these players to play in such a big game. And well, if they end up victorious after 90 minutes, they've got a game at Wembley, which should be even bigger for them. So a massive opportunity for Liverpool to write some new history today. For Chelsea, it will be business as usual. They were knocked out at this stage last season against Manchester United in pretty poor fashion. So Sonia Van Pastor and
controversial circumstances, I think, to say the least.
Yeah, but overall the performance wasn't good enough from Chelsea, and they will know that. They need to play better than that this afternoon. They do want to get to the final in a month or two time. So for Chelsea, they want to win this quadruple. They want to win trophies, but it starts by winning games like this.
Yeah, definitely. And Chelsea with a much nicer route to this stage in the competition with Palace in the last round. But Palace didn't make it easy for them. It was a difficult game, only decided by a goal from Lauren James. And no Lauren James for Chelsea today. We'll touch on the Lance in a moment, but how big a loss is that for the Blues?
Yeah, it is a big loss. Lauren James is a big game player. She's a type of player, as she's proven in that Crystal Palace game, as she showed against the likes of Everton, where if Chelsea are struggling or if it's a pretty even game, Lauren James can be the difference maker. She's the reason that Chelsea have got to this stage by scoring the winner in the quarter-final. So, she is a player that Chelsea will miss today because she can just turn the game just like that. So a big miss, but Chelsea, they've got other big game players to step up in their absence, and they will need that quality if they want to go on and win this game today.
Yeah, indeed. Let's have a look then at the lineups for today's game, see how Chelsea are handling the lack of Lauren James. In goal is Hannah Hampton to start. The back four, Bronze, Bright, Bjorn and Sondy Baltimore. Across the midfield three, it's Welsh, Captain and Erin Cuthbert. And a front line of Carnreid, Ramirez and Aggie Beaver-Jones. So full strength, considering the injuries. Strong team.
Yeah, very, very strong side. And it's a lineup that we pretty much expected. Captain, back fit is huge for Chelsea after she came off over the international break. But having her back today is big as part of that midfield three for the Blues. But apart from that, we kind of knew what this side was going to be. Baltimore playing over Charles, back four as we've seen all season. And obviously the big question was who was going to play on that left-hand side. And with no Lauren James, with Guro Wrighton only just making the bench, it was always going to be Aggie Beaver-Jones. And a big opportunity for Beaver-Jones. We spoke about it yesterday in the video. Had a really strong international break with England. Has been in brilliant form this season. I think her contribution has been very underrated. So in a big game like today, in this semi-final, a good opportunity for Beaver-Jones off that left-hand side to try and cause some problems and to add to what has already been a brilliant season in front of goal.
Yeah, definitely so. Looking ahead then towards next weekend with Barcelona in mind, Hamano on the bench, Wrighton on the bench, Nusken on the bench. Do you think that's an opportunity, all three of those being rested for that occasion?
Yeah, I think it's a mix of that and also the injury worries. Obviously, Wrighton and Hamano are both just back from injury, with Wrighton being out for a few weeks, and Hamano, again, another victim of the international break. For Nusken, as you say, it's really good. It's weird because it's a semi-final, but when you compare it from Liverpool to Barcelona, this is a resting opportunity for Chelsea. So it's not to put any...
Only slight, though.
Yeah, it is only slight because it is still a semi-final and Liverpool are still a very good side. And I think that without that Barcelona game, Chelsea would like to have full strength and their full complement available today. But due to many factors, they don't. But they've still got a very, very strong side. They've still got a side that are capable of beating Liverpool. It's up to Liverpool to prove everyone wrong, really.
Yeah. I mean, unless there's a dramatic turnaround for Guro Reiten, which there very much could be. She could be fit for next weekend. I think this is probably the same team that will play against Barcelona. I mean, Hermano as well would be my other one. I think Hermano would probably come in for Vika captain. But it shows Chelsea taking Liverpool very seriously, and rightfully so. They're a very difficult opponent. Let's have a look then at the Liverpool side. In goal, it's Rachel Laws. A back four of Fisk, Bonner, Evans and Hines. A midfield three of Nagano, Kerr and Herbinger. No Holland after she was injured on Wales international duty. And a front line of Smith, Kiernan and Kapok. So Arsenal keeping with the 4-3-3, keeping with a more aggressive brand of football. No Roman Howe today for Liverpool as well. How much of a miss is that for the Reds?
I think she is a very, very good player, but I think it's purposeful. Howe on the bench, so no injury problems with her, simply favouring Kiernan, which I think just shows how Liverpool want to play today. They want to hit Chelsea on the break. They want to have a fast pace in that front line with Kapox, Kiernan and Smith. You have a lot of pace and you have a lot of directness in that front line. With Romain Haug, I think she's a very, very good finisher and a very good target forward, good at holding the ball up and good in the air. But I can see why Kiernan is favoured. Bring on Chelsea quickly and get that ball in down the channels, get that ball over the top. And I think that front three looks very, very dangerous. And if Liverpool are to have a chance of getting something from this game, it's going to be someone in that front three who looks to step up to the occasion. And Liverpool have got players who can do that. And that is why I think this game won't be as simple as perhaps other people think it will be. Because Liverpool are now at a point where they have the quality, like Olivia Smith and other players in that squad, that can step up and deliver against the biggest sides in the world in the biggest games. This is a massive opportunity for Liverpool. If they can play, if they play as well as they did against Arsenal at Meadow Park, they will make this a very, very good game. If we see the Liverpool that turned up at the Emirates, then it's going to be a very long afternoon for the Reds. So for Liverpool, it's about what kind of standard are we going to see? Are we going to see the Liverpool that beat Arsenal in the quarter-final and beat Man United at Anfield? Or are we going to see the Liverpool that got trounced at the Emirates and lost to a really poor Aston Villa side? So Liverpool, if on their day, they can make this a very, very good game. It's just whether is today going to be their day or will it be another off performance?
Yeah, you mentioned there Olivia Smith, and we all know the threat that she poses. Of course, a brilliant player. But I do think that people, by bigging up Smith, underestimate how good the rest of this Liverpool side is. I think it is a really strong team, and that's not to discredit Smith. I think she's been one of the best players in the WSL this season and a very exciting young player. And so I understand why a lot of the big corporations focus solely on Smith. That's the big threat. But I think Liverpool's side have been very good this season. I think, especially under Amber Whiteley, we've seen, I mean, forget the Arsenal game because that was a really poor defence performance. But other than that, we've seen some really nice combinations from Liverpool in attacking areas and some really good defensive play. And I think they look like a really well-organised unit. So I think the whole team deserves some credit in that regard. I think that's why they'll give Chelsea a really difficult game today.
Yeah, and as you say, yes, they've got Smith, but they have other quality players. I think Herbinger is, technically, is an incredible player and is very, very good when she gets the ball down. Also a danger from set pieces. I think that Cornelia Capox is someone that's really come into her own under Amber Whiteley. In the Matt Beard system, Liverpool didn't play with wingers, so there wasn't a place for Capox in the side. With this 4-3-3 now, she slots in perfectly on that left-hand side and can offer a lot of threat in that Liverpool front line. I think Sam Kerr on loan was another really, really good addition that has definitely added a little bit more of strength in that midfield, that battle. And I think that as much as Holland will be a big miss today, Nagano coming back in as well does offer them a little bit more security. I think more of a defensive midfielder just to sit at the base of that three will just give Liverpool a little bit more strength defensively. And if they can win the midfield battle, say, because I think that is potentially where Chelsea look a bit weak, not because their midfield bad. They've got Walsh, Cuthbert and Captain, three of the best midfielders in the league. But I think that it's one of those where Chelsea have struggled with this single pivot. They're still adjusting to playing this way with Kira Walsh as the only holding midfielder. So I think Liverpool will hope to try and get on top in the middle of the park.
Yeah, I think they'll back themselves to be physical in there. I think Holland's a big miss for them though, because I think her pressing and her anticipation's really good. So that makes it difficult for teams to play through Liverpool. I think they will miss that today. But Sam Kerr's a very capable player, and I think will offer very similar qualities, just probably not to the same level that Holland does. I think Holland is quite unique in how dogged she is in getting that ball back, that fight to go and win the ball back. So I think that will be a big miss for Liverpool today, but I think Kerr will bring other attributes that perhaps contribute more effectively in attacking areas. So Yeah, I think that'll be a really interesting game. I think Chelsea are still the favourites, though, but Liverpool are going to give them a game today, and that's the important thing. There's a reason Liverpool are here. They deserve to be here. It's FA Cup semi-finals. Regardless of the opponent, it's going to be a tough game. So
Yeah.
Chelsea can't afford to underestimate them today, and it should be a good one. Let's get into some predictions then. If you're watching along in the live chat, get involved in chat, and we'll make sure to read out your predictions. But we're going to start in the studio with yourself, Harry. What is your prediction for today's game?
I think it's going to be a close one. I think Liverpool will make a very, very good go of it. It's a massive game for them. They've got, a huge away support, by the way. It has to be said, at Kings Meadow, one of the strongest I've seen this season. But that's because of how big this game is. It's a massive game for Liverpool as a football club, and they will hope that they can definitely challenge Chelsea, if not go and beat them. I just can't look past the quality of this Chelsea side. They've got a manager and they've got players that have experience in these kind of games. They know how to get it across the line in semi-finals. And I think Chelsea will win this game. I will go 2-1 to the Blues. I think it will be... I think Beaver Jones will open the scoring. It will then be a leveller from Cornelia Capox. And then it will be a winner off the bench from Cat Macario to seal the win for Chelsea and to send them through to Wembley.
Yeah, fair enough. I think Chelsea will win this. I think it will be... I think I said 3-1 in the preview, and I'm going to stick with that. I don't think I gave a prediction, but that was what I was thinking in my head while talking on the preview. I'm going to say 3-1 Chelsea. I think they will be... they'll be too difficult for Liverpool to beat, but I think there will be a goal from Liverpool today, probably for Olivia Smith or Leanne Kinner, because I think Leanne Kinner can also pack a huge punch. We know Chelsea are a bit vulnerable on the counter. We saw that in the West Ham game for the internationals. So, yeah, I think it will be... I'm going to go 3-1 Chelsea. I'll say Chelsea goals from Beaver Jones with the brace. I think she'll really shine on that left-hand side. And I will say Hamano as well from the bench.
Yeah, fair enough. I think Chelsea will be keen to make this game as comfortable as possible, to start fast and making sure they seal this game. They didn't do that against West Ham. They went 2-0 up and then just took their foot off the gas. They can't afford to do that today. It's too big of a game to be able to do that. But they'll expect Liverpool. They will expect Liverpool to make this competitive, and they know that Liverpool will make it very, very difficult. But again, Chelsea, with the quality they have, they should get through this result, put on a good performance, and they're stronger than Liverpool. It's as simple as that, and that should be enough for them to get the win today.
Yeah, indeed. A referee today, Kirsty Dow, obviously was the referee last year when at Chelsea vs Manchester United. Had a controversial game. Hopefully we don't see anything like that today.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. There were decisions in semi-finals last year that completely changed the outcomes of the match. So hopefully we see none of that. We don't want any controversy. We want a completely fair game. And these two, again, if it is fair, if there's no poor moments of officiating, there's no controversy, these are two sides who can put on one heck of a football match.
Indeed. And with that, if Elena Dimitrescu gets the Chelsea-Barcelona game, I'm rioting. Let's look through some of the predictions in the live chat, though. Welcome, Michael. Welcome, Lucky. Rising going 2-1 Chelsea. David Fraser saying 3-1 Chelsea. Lucky with a hell of a game going 3-2 Chelsea.
Wow.
Says, I'm nervous. It's going to be a long 90. It's giving the same vibes as Villa 2 seasons ago. And George says, I really hope Liverpool upset Chelsea, but I just can't see it happening. I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. Fair enough. Lots of interesting predictions all round, but the majority going with the Chelsea win, and that is reflected in the live chat as well. 94% think Chelsea will win today. 6% going with Liverpool.
That is quite a lot. That is a very big margin. I think that, yes, Chelsea should win this game, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. It's a semi-final, and I think that we have seen in the last few years in the semi-finals how sides can turn up, how sides do put up a very, very good fight, and when in these big games like Leicester and Tottenham, massive opportunity for both of them last season, and it was probably Leicester's best performance of the campaign. They turned up. Yes, they lost that match in extra time, but even still, in that semi-final, they turned up and they made a very, very good go of it, and it just shows what you can do, what these, I don't want to call them the small sides, but the smaller sides can do in these bigger games. Not many people thought Man United were going to knock Chelsea out in last year's semi-final, and they went and did it. So you can't count Liverpool out today, but Chelsea do have the quality and just do have the strength of personnel to just see Liverpool off.
Yeah, indeed. David saying, do you think Chelsea are getting the most out of Walsh yet? Yeah, I think we've seen our defensive contributions have been immense. So, yeah, I'd definitely say so. Nice to see her, by the way. I think it's worth mentioning. A minute's silence before the game here in memory of the Hillsborough disaster. And, yeah, good to see from Chelsea and Liverpool. Right, saying, as long as it isn't like the nightmare 4-3 against Liverpool last season, I'm good. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean,
not like that for Chelsea.
These are two sides that have pulled, presented some brilliant fixtures over the last year. Yeah, we saw Liverpool, so we saw Chelsea tear Liverpool apart at Stamford Bridge, but then, as you say, in the reverse fixture, Liverpool, it was one 7-goal thriller. So it's one of those that these two sides have competed with each other for years, and I think it's fitting to see two semi-finals with four big sides in them. No discredit to Leicester and Tottenham last season, but it's going to make for a very, very good final, no matter who gets through out of these two semi-finals.
And before kick-off here, both sets of players taking in a stand against all forms of discrimination. It will be Chelsea to get us started here at Kings Meadow. Ramirez from the middle knocks it back, and we're underway here at Kings Meadow. Chelsea versus Liverpool in the FA Cup semi-final stage. A place in the final at stake this morning. And Chelsea looking to get back to a final. They weren't there last year. As Manchester United versus Tottenham. Liverpool will be the first time in a while that they've been to the FA Cup final.
Yeah, since the turn of the millennium, really. Not, I want to say 1980 something was their last final. It's been a while.
Yeah, I want to say that I swear they won one though, but more recently than that.
Potentially so. Their first one was definitely a while ago.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, no, you know what I mean. But they've only got to two though, so it's not like
Yeah.
it's not a given.
Anyway, Liverpool in possession. Fisk knocks it down the line. Smith back inside to Fisk. Fisk plays it in behind, and here comes Leanne Kiernan. Bjorn trying to hold her up. Kiernan gets hold of the ball though, and now looking to make something happen. Holds it up nicely. Needs some support here. Herbinger in support. Looks to deliver it, and that takes a deflection, and Millie Bright will be the one to sweep it up. Clears it into the oncoming attacker. That's out for a Chelsea goal kick.
Yeah, already seeing that threat that Liverpool can pose in behind. That's why they've chosen the pace of Kiernan for this match. Because they can get a ball over the top and get her in a foot race with Bjorn and Bright. She's got a good chance of winning that, at least half the time. We saw how Belgium did it to Bright down that left-hand side with Bright and Charles really struggling for England. It's what Liverpool look to do the same with, especially with Smith on this right-hand side.
Yeah, indeed. Ball forwards for Chelsea. Good control from captain. Now Ramirez fighting away for it. And that goes out for a Liverpool throw. Which Ramirez isn't too happy about.
Yeah, Ramirez is another player who can have a massive impact on this game. Big task for Bonner and Evans tonight, this afternoon.
It's very light for tonight, Harry.
Yes, it's a brilliant, lovely day. Finally hitting spring weather, you feel.
So warms the year so far, I want to say.
Yes.
Fisk plays it forwards. Kiernan plays it quickly into Olivia Smith. Baltimore, good defending there. And that's what Baltimore's got to do today. Shut her down as quickly as possible. They'll jostle for it in this corner. But Chelsea do play out. Cuff, but nice control poked off the pitch there by Sam Kerr. Cuff wants to take the throw quickly though. And does just delay and will allow Baltimore to come and take it.
But that shows where that energy level is at for Chelsea. Cuff picking that ball up straight away and wanting to get this ball moving. Decided against it in the end, but it's the intent that was there.
Lovely ball from Erin Cuthbert to switch the play here. Lucy Bronze manages to adjust her footing nicely there and keep hold of possession. Nice turn in there for captain. Now Walsh. Bronze tries to slide it through. And now Liverpool will look to counter. Herbinger trying to find Kiernan with the curved run. We all know does well to stand her ground, and now Chelsea can play out again down this left-hand side. Millie Bright finds Baltimore. Baltimore into Beaver Jones. Will dart inside. Now back to Bright. Switches the play. Good control from Carnaries. Then it does just escape her grasp. One back well by Captain. And now it's Carnareed again. Ramirez tries to let that run. Good defending there from... I think it was Evans in there. Just got really close to her.
Yeah, that's exactly what you got to do. You cannot afford to give Maya Ramirez space, but also you have to be smart about it, because if you try and get right up in her face, she will just budge out the way and you'll end up on your backside like Alana Kennedy found out. Yeah. But it's very, very good. Don't give that much space.
There's no way to win, really, is there?
Yeah.
Because if you want to be, if you get touch tight with her constantly, the first few times, you're going to frustrate her like there. But eventually she is just going to stand her ground and shrug you off.
Yeah.
And if you give her any space, she's going to run a mile.
Yeah.
So it's a very difficult player to handle when they have pace and power.
Yeah. You just have to judge it right for the occasion. If it's a ball go over the top, don't let her win the foot race. If it's one holding her up, don't try and just throw your body at her, because if not, she will. You will end up worse off.
You're not winning that physical battle. Peter Jones putting the pressure on there. Well played out by Bonner. Now Fisk. Smith back to Fisk. Hervinger, Fisk.
It's much better on the ball from Liverpool. Against Arsenal at the Emirates and against Villa, the reason they lost those games is because they just kept losing the ball in their own third. But it is much better. Much better.
And now Ramirez up against Bonner. Bonner does well to compete with it, and that's a Chelsea corner. Bonner forced to put that out of play with the pressure of Ramirez on her back.
Yeah, that's what Ramirez does. Bonner does well. She because it looks like she's got time to take a
Chelsea
touch.
win it high here, and then it's a ball through from Bright. Ramirez lets it run, and Bonner just realises that she is not keeping up with her.
Doesn't risk that foot race, because if Bonner stays on her feet there and tries to outrun Ramirez, that is only going to end.
And if she just gets shrugged off, then Ramirez is in to score. Chelsea corner now though, and this they can threaten from. Aaron Cuthbert delivers it in towards the box, and it's gone straight through and out for a Liverpool goal kick. But a tempting ball, and you felt Chelsea should have made more of that.
Yeah, so great ball in from Aaron Cuthbert, and how no one's made any significant contact with it in the penalty area is beyond me. It's a great ball. I think it was Bjorn or Ramirez was the closest to it. But yeah, it's put right on the 6-yard line. That's a great ball in.
Yeah, Bjorn just reacts too late, you think.
Yeah, Bonner does well to get up with her, but yeah, as you say, Bjorn just doesn't jump early enough. Usually you see a player will jump too early and then end up kind of just foreheading the ball.
Yeah, kid, and they're absolutely brushed off by Millie Bright. Now it's with Fisk. Hervinger. I really like what Liverpool are doing in possession. So it's a back four, but they're turning it into a back three in two different ways. One way is they bring the goalkeeper in and Fisk and Hines go high. The other way, perhaps when they're slightly higher up the pitch, we're seeing it more, is Fisk comes a bit narrower, Bonner goes a bit more central, and Hervinger dropping into this wide space, or Smith dropping deeper. And so it gives them more passing options, and they make themselves more difficult for Chelsea to press. Because then there's a decision, either the fullbacks have to push onto the wing-backs and leave the wingers free, or the Chelsea wingers have got to drop deeper, which they don't really want to do, and that's going to leave the centre-backs free. It makes it very difficult for Chelsea. And that's exactly what Liverpool want to do today, is make things as difficult as possible for Chelsea. Hervinger looks to play it in behind. Important tackle from Sondy Baltimore. And now Bright will play into Ramirez. A touch, though, escapes. So it's actually fizzed at her by Millie Bright. Ramirez unable to get it under her control.
Yeah, what a tackle from Baltimore. You could see the frustration from Olivia Smith. Just jumping up and down, because as soon as that ball came through, her eyes were lit up, but a brilliant recovery.
That's got to have more on it. They've got to back Olivia Smith there. They know she's faster than Sondy Baltimore, and Hannah Hampson coming out of her goal needs to be more on that, and it needs to be more difficult for Baltimore just to make that tackle. Because if that's ahead of Smith by more, Smith is going to win that battle. He's going to win that foot race, and Baltimore would have no chance of getting a foot on it, and so would have had to rely on being able to get back in.
Yeah, this game, very physical already. Love this. From Smith and Bright, neither of them were backing out of that one. Great 50-50 challenge.
But I'm glad as well the rest let that play, because that's a clean tackle. And I think often you see those tackles where two players go in, whichever player comes worse off, they get a free kick.
Yeah.
But actually they've both gone in there probably harder than they should or need to, but they've both gone in, so that's fine.
They both know there's going to be a player there when they get there. The ball will be there, but there will also be another player. But neither of them, I like it.
Yeah, I like as well that neither of them backed out of it, and neither of them went down holding their ankle afterwards.
That's when you usually
tackles.
That's when you usually see the foul. If Smith backs out there, Bright comes through her. But both of them went into it hard
in
and
behind, and Bonner here being chased by Ramirez. Smart pressing from Ramirez. Bonner forced to put out of play there. She just wasn't seemingly aware of Ramirez's curved run. So smart,
which is not a good thing to not be aware of. Yeah. Someone's got to tell her that she's got Maya Ramirez hurrying after her over her left shoulder.
If you saw where Ramirez was, Ramirez just delayed in running until Bonner's head was turned and then suddenly sprinted at her. I don't know what Bonner thought was going to happen.
Might just
Ain't
disappear.
going to bother.
Yeah.
Chelsea now in a high area. Good ball towards captain. He gets it into the box. Anthony Jones hits the deck in there. Cuthbert finds it though. That volley more fitting for a game of rugby.
Yeah, and the ball has
Or
ended up
Aussie rolls.
out of King's Meadow. Not quite what Erin
I
Cuthbert
want
was
to
trying
see
to do here.
what's happening in the box here.
Oh, Beaver
Oh,
Jones
Beaver
flipped
Jones.
over.
I was wondering how Fisk got
Yeah.
closer. There you go.
She didn't. Yeah, and then it fell to Cuthbert, who I'm sure was picturing in her head that ball was going to sail into the top right corner and she was going to wheel away in celebration.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what she tried to do with that one.
She tried to side foot it. It's just never going to work. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she just laces and volley like across the ball.
Yeah. Should have kept it down.
Yeah.
Instead, she just lifted. She put
She
lift
got under it and just hit it up.
Put lift on a ball that was already at about chest height.
Yeah. Just need to wait for it to drop and then kick it. Beaver Jones tries to deliver it. That's taken a kick off the Liverpool defender, and that will be a corner now.
Yeah.
We saw how dangerous the last one was for Chelsea.
Yeah, if Cuthbert can get his delivery right, and they could be on the money again. But good start to a semi-final. First 10 minutes, I think Chelsea have probably been the better side. That's not to say that Liverpool haven't been in this game. I think it's been a very competitive start, which is what you want to see.
But what we saw from West Ham at Kings Meadow 2 weeks ago was the first 20 minutes, I didn't think there were
horrendous.
two teams on the pitch.
No.
I thought a shooting practice for Chelsea. But once they grew comfortable in the game, they came into it and then they scored 2 goals and they levelled it up.
Mm.
If Liverpool can go that first 20, 30 minutes without conceding, then suddenly the momentum and the belief will come into Liverpool's favour. I think that's what they've got to do. Just wait out this early pressure period where Chelsea are going to be strong and keen to go and score that first goal. And I think we've seen that if Chelsea don't score early on, it can become a bit of a slog for the Blues.
Yeah. Everton did it in the round of 16.
With passes like that, they are going to invite more
Yeah.
pressure on themselves.
That's not great.
Bonner drilling it towards Smith there and able to keep it in touch. That's out for a Chelsea throw.
Yeah, Liverpool, Everton did it. At Kings Meadow as well. They waited. Then home guard scored an Olympico, and then suddenly it was game on again.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately they went on to lose that
They
game,
did,
but they were able to.
They were in the game
take the lead
for half an hour.
Here's Kira Walsh. Now Cuthbert knocks the ball out wide. Sandy Baltimore plays it in towards the path of Beaver Jones. Good tackle, an important tackle as well from Olivia Smith there, recovering well. Chelsea with another corner.
For a right winger that is naturally a striker, her defensive work rate is absolutely incredible.
Naturally a winger, to be fair, but yeah, I think she's incredible.
But to track back there is brilliant. And gets a tackle as well. That's a very easy one to get very wrong when you're behind the player running in. Very easy to take them out, but nothing but everything. No, she got the ball.
Ball into the box. Chance for Chelsea. Headed over again.
And a good catch in the crowd.
If it wasn't for the plethora of attacking talents Chelsea already possessed, I think Sophia Smith would be one that they'd be looking at this summer. Olivia Smith, sorry.
They
probably are looking at Sophia Wilson. Because she is just that already established superstar, and that's the level Chelsea are looking at now. Yeah. But I think if they were in a position where they didn't have Lola Brown coming through, and they didn't already have Lauren James, Gura Wrighton, Sondi Baltimore, and now Beaver Jones, who can play there, as options, I think they would be seriously looking at Olivia Smith.
People should be.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'd be surprised, if Arsenal, Man United and City aren't.
Yeah, 100%.
Because that's the sort of sign they need to make this summer. Liverpool, though, would be silly to sell at anything under $1 million, because I think she will be a £1 million player eventually.
Mm.
And if Liverpool keep investing, they'll be in a position where she could stay, or they will be in a position to demand that sort of fee.
I think, at the end of the day, there are bigger clubs out there, and yes, you might want to play in Europe, but Liverpool this season could end up finishing in 5th once again and reaching, if they win today, they're in an FA Cup final.
Yeah.
And who says they can't go beat City and United at Wembley if they get there? Yeah, they're a very, very decent team. Yeah. Chelsea with another corner, by the way. The corners are really starting to rack up. That's not a bad ball from Baltimore. Well dealt with by Laws.
Header kept alive, still alive there for Chelsea. Cleared away. Cuthbert will look to recycle it now. Baltimore. And there is a head injury there, I think.
Yes. But yeah, I think very common we've seen recently is that the in-swinger onto the goalkeeper. We've seen it very often in the women's game. Again, Baltimore puts it right onto Laws.
Well, I think in general there's a lack of comfortability in going and claiming crosses in the women's game. I think that's still. I mean, we've spoken a bit on this channel, and I think it's part of the more a broader discussion in the women's game about. There's always been a conversation about goalkeeping, about goalkeeping standards. I think that was the biggest thing at the last World Cup was that huge increase in goalkeeping standards.
Yeah.
Because you think to the World Cup before was where the US were beating Haiti like 10-0.
Yeah.
You think back to the last World Cup and there were much closer games. I think overall the goalkeeping standard in the women's game has gone up dramatically at the top level.
Yeah.
But I still think there are, of course, areas for development.
But I like the fact that it is now starting to get to the point where those weaker sides, those weaker nations can do what we see in the rest of football, which is when they are up against it, they can rely on their goalkeeper to make a few saves. Again, as you say, they avoid those 10-0s because half those shots are getting saved now.
Well, they're better quality as well. But I think in terms of, especially with goalkeepers, we're going to see a lot of young goalkeepers come through.
Yeah.
Because 6'5" women will take up goalkeeping. Yeah. That's a pretty simple matter of it. Though, there are taller women around and they will take up goalkeeping because they're probably be quite naturally good at it. Okay, drop ball here for Chelsea then. It doesn't exactly replicate the advantage they had in that scenario, but it's the best we can do with the situation. Chelsea will move the ball around here, looking to probe, looking to create something. Here's Sondi Baltimore. Olivia Smith will close the angle. Baltimore, though, able to find Ramirez. Back to Baltimore, breaking into the box now for Chelsea. Fisk stands her ground well, and that's cleared away. I don't think Baltimore needs to take her on in there.
No, it's good defending, but as you say, wrong decision from Baltimore. I think Grace Fisk is another player that I've been massively impressed with under Amber Whiteley. Again, a player that, due to the injury crisis at Liverpool, was playing as that right wing back, and I think it was just too far forward for her. As more of a right back that, as you said earlier, becomes
Cuthbert coming inside, finds Carnery, that's blocked, and it's another Chelsea corner.
Yeah, Liverpool having to get bodies in the way of these Chelsea efforts. Chelsea starting to really ramp up the pressure now. But yeah, I think Fisk is in that more defensive right back role that potentially becomes a right centre half at times, is much stronger than she did playing as that out and out wing back, because she is again naturally a centre half full back. She's not a wing back. It's a shame that was kind of forced because Liverpool have no players to start the season.
You feel for Lucy Parry because she just keeps getting injured.
Yeah, and she's a very good player, and it's a shame because she did well as that wing back. But again, how well would she do as an out and out fullback?
Yeah. If only they had an out and out fullback on their books last season, it was really good. Who they let go to Juventus for free.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot they could do there, to be fair, but that was a big loss over the summer. Carnery. Now Bronze back towards Carnery, who keeps it in touch. It's knocked out of play. Chelsea, though, with a chance now, high up the pitch again. Throw in towards Ramirez, holds the ball up well. Evans, though. Evans doing really well at the moment to be physical with her.
Yeah.
With Ramirez. There's a difference between how we've seen Evans deal with her and Bonner. I think Bonner's getting shrugged off too easy. Gemma Evans being really physical at the moment with Ramirez and just making life very difficult for her. It feels akin to what we saw in the City game where Alexandria would get just shoved on the floor.
Yeah.
And earlier in the season, Kennedy. But Gracie Pryor was really good at dealing with her.
And it helps Liverpool that they've got Nagano in there today, just screening in front of those centre halves.
Harris Bino, welcome to the stream. As Philly says, the way to watch the game is on the BBC if you're in the UK. If you're outside the UK, there is a good chance this isn't broadcast, unfortunately. And if you can't find a way to watch it, then feel free to join us here. Liverpool playing out from the back. Ball gets lifted forwards. Now it's with Smith. That's cut out there by Cuthbert. And Chelsea possession again. Liverpool just haven't really got a touch yet.
No.
Especially in the opponent's half.
They've done well in passages, but when they've had... And I think it's the bit that's impressive is when they have had the ball under pressure. But as you say, for the majority of the time, Chelsea are the ones with the ball. And if Liverpool are having the ball, they're in their own penalty area. They're in their own half. And they're not... They've got a couple of balls over the top early doors, but they haven't managed to do that so far. You feel like, yes, they're playing. I get they're playing it safe with the passes, but you feel like someone's just got to take a risk and just try and find that ball over the top.
Well, 5 shots to none so far. That's difficult to
Yeah, it's not great
to argue against. Only 54% possession, which feels lower than it has been.
Yeah, that's what Liverpool are doing. They are competing. They're getting themselves on the ball, which at some point in this football match will present them with an opportunity. And that is key. When you do have 45% of the possession in a football game, you will get presented with a chance at some point. You just have to be patient with it.
Yeah. Strong header from Natalie Bjorn. And that was not necessary, really, from Vega Captain there. Went in wildly. Conceded a free kick.
Yeah, clumsy that from Captain. Hines is boxed in there, doesn't really have anywhere to go. Tries to skip past her, and Captain just says, well, you're not doing that, and trips her up.
Yeah.
Yeah, competitive first 20 minutes. But Chelsea are definitely in control. But again, we thought the same about Man United in the first half at Anfield, then suddenly Liverpool completely turned the game on its head. They're a side that, even when you feel like you're in control of the football match, can completely change the circumstances in a matter of minutes.
Indeed, Evans. Nice turn. Liverpool look to play now. Herbinger slots it in behind. It's something Smith can run onto. Bearing it on goal. Olivia Smith, chance to score, and she'll take it. And Chelsea opened up with a pass through the lines. And Olivia Smith in behind. Slots it past the keeper. Chelsea 0, Liverpool 1. And who else? Who else was it going to be to step up for Liverpool in a moment like that? It's a great ball through. Incredible ball through from Gemma Evans. Mad just to find Olivia Smith, and Smith tucks it away well. Incredible from Liverpool, and a fast start for the Reds. Chelsea open up too easily.
Yeah, I said it 30 seconds ago. Liverpool, the tighter side, when you feel like you're in control, can completely switch the game on its head. And that's exactly what they've done there. 20 minutes where Chelsea have put the pressure on, have had the ball, and suddenly they move it from back to front beautifully. It's a great ball. Such a good ball through for Olivia Smith. And she's always going to finish one-on-one with the keeper. Only one answer. Hampton should do better, but it's a really tiny finish from Smith.
And Herbinger, what a ball.
Yeah.
The play comes through. It's Evans inside.
So good.
To Kerr, finds Herbinger. Herbinger slides it incredibly in behind. The weight of pass, the direction of pass, and the angle, it's all perfect. Smith meets it well, and then tucks it in the bottom corner, and that's Chelsea 0, Liverpool 1.
And you said about the first one Herbinger played through, that Baltimore cut out. It was because the ball was played into Smith rather than in front of her. That one is in front of her, and then in the foot race between Smith and Baltimore, Smith wins it, and Liverpool now coming forward once again, causing all sorts of issues now.
All into the box, and that will go over and out for a throw on the far side. George says, what do you guys think about loan players not being able to play against their parents' clubs in the women's game? I'm sure Liverpool would have liked to have Bernabeu and Bartel on the bench. That's decided by the clubs. It's the same in the men's and women's game. The clubs decide in the contract whether they want the loan player to be able to play against them or not. They can set the terms. So I think it's part of the deal, really. If you're going to take a player on loan, you can't play them against the parent club for the risk they play well and then the parent club loses out. So
exactly. Yeah. I understand it completely, because if Bartel played today and scored and knocked Chelsea out of the FA Cup semi-final, she's then got to return to Kings Meadow next season, and everyone's going to be like, why'd you do that for?
Or the other way round, Bartel could play today for Liverpool and play awfully. And then suddenly it's like, well, has she thrown it
she's
for a
scored an own goal.
Well, exactly.
Chelsea didn't respond immediately, but Carnegie creeps offside. Like, again, but those offsides are really frustrating for any team, because that's just lazy from Carnegie. She's, especially when she's on the near side, she just hasn't looked along the line. Yeah, just gets caught half a yard off. It's a good ball in, actually. It's a great ball in. Shame she's a half a yard offside.
Yeah, indeed. And we spoke again earlier in this stream about how Chelsea have started fast, but if Liverpool just hold on and don't succumb to the Chelsea pressure, they'll get a chance. They took that chance really well. They countered effectively. And again, it's something we spoke about in the preview, how Chelsea are open on the counter-attack. There was just too many gaps. Herbinger was in acres and just walked through. And again, it feels like it comes down to the system. A double pivot, and there's someone on Herbinger there. Ramirez trying to run through again. Really smart from Gemma Evans. She's dealt with Ramirez phenomenally.
That's an exceptional tackle.
Baltimore just holding up Olivia Smith. Cuthbert will come in and help. And now Chelsea can play out, but it's given as a foul. against Chelsea. I think it was Baltimore.
Yeah. Baltimore did well initially, and then pulled her to the ground.
It's one of those. I think Smith has leaned in a lot there.
Yeah.
But from the ref's perspective, because Cuthbert comes in as well and takes the ball away, I think the ref's always going to give that regardless of whether it's a foul or not.
Yeah. And now Liverpool, what the problem is, in a knockout game, Liverpool don't got something to defend. And that is a very difficult position to be in if you are Chelsea. Because this Liverpool side have now got something to fight for. Because they know now, if nothing changes, they are 65 minutes away from Wembley. That is a lot of time.
Beaver Jones wins the ball high at the pitch. Great tackle from Fisk. And Chelsea complained there because Fisk went in high.
Yeah, the studs are up.
That's one of those where VAR gives it as a straight red. But I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with the tackle. She's not caught the player.
Yeah, if that's it was a high risk, high reward, because if Fisk does catch the player there, she is walking off very quickly. Yeah. But yeah, it's dangerous because again, does she know she's not? Is she 100% sure that she's not going to get the player there? Probably not. But she got it right, which is the main thing. That could have been so horribly wrong. I like this from Whiteley though, running up and down the line with water bottles to give to her players as they come and take throw-ins and things. It's brilliant.
It's
a warm day.
Yeah, it's intuitive. Can't say I've ever seen it before.
No. I'm sure Heaslip on that touchline as four-fish will be furious. Get back in your technical area.
Stop littering the bottles up and down the lines.
Another silly one, that time from Carnery. Just, it's a soft one again, but when you're grabbing the player so obviously in front of the referee, that's always going to be a free kick. I mean, I'm not sure it's what brings Hines to the ground. I think Hines slips over. But the ref is stood 3 yards away from you. You are just constantly just nipping at her shirt. It's going to be it's an easy free kick to give.
Yeah.
Again, sloppy from Chelsea. There's been too many of those sloppy free kicks. And they started well, but they're just letting it's slipping out of their grasp a little bit now, Chelsea.
Ball laid into the box. Liverpool trying to work this into an attacking situation. Good from Olivia Smith. Drags across the box. Blocked in there well by Bright, but that's a Liverpool corner and they'll keep the pressure on here. Really
good block from Bright getting in front of it. But again, so sharp from Smith. It's a brilliant burst, but she does so well to keep it within the restrictions of the pitch. Burst past Walsh, manages to keep it in on the byline. Good block from Bright and does well to keep all arms tucked in.
Yeah, indeed.
And again, the momentum's completely shifted. Liverpool scored a goal and now suddenly they're starting to enjoy a lot more of the ball and are getting much higher up the pitch.
Ball into the box, struck by Liverpool player over the bar.
I tell you what, I think Fisk has got to do better with that. She manages to escape from her marker and the ball is zipped into the box, but she manages to get away from Ramirez and I think she's unmarked. She's got to do better. She has to turn that goalwards. Gets it horribly wrong, really, doesn't sort out her feet. But another let off for Chelsea.
I've only just realised the Liverpool fans have those hit the bits of paper that you hit against your hand.
They're fans. Their fans have turned into those.
Yeah, no, I realised that. I looked initially like they've just hired a load of seals, but just think the crowd going like that.
They've all got red gloves on. But it's quite smart. You've turned a useful tool to deal with the heat into a way to make noise for your team.
I don't think are fans like that effective. So I think you get hot at having to.
That's why I don't understand it.
Fisk. Irving takes aim, blocked well by Hannah Hampton.
Too easy, way too easy from Chelsea once again. Irving has got way too much time on this area, but once again, brilliant football from Liverpool. They're moving this ball really nicely. Another brilliant switch of the play into Smith, lays it, and then Irving is
a hell of a player.
Way too much space. Bjorn just backs off her. Good stop from Hannah Hampton to keep this game at 1-0. But Liverpool in the ascendancy now. And this is what they do.
And unsurprisingly, this game at the moment is being dictated by Smith and Herbinger, two players who are top quality, and Chelsea just aren't dealing with those threats.
No.
And they'll be Herbinger again with this ball into the box.
Spoke about that set piece threat.
And it's a good delivery, and it's a header towards goal, but it's over the bar.
But it's another one, though, where, yes, it's gone over the bar again. First one from Fisk, this one from Bonner. But it's the second corner now that Liverpool have had where it's been Liverpool first contact. And it's been the ball has travelled towards the goal. Yes, they've gone quite far over, but they're making first contact on it. They're getting to that ball ahead of Chelsea. Like Bronze there, Bonner is all over the back of her, but Bronze doesn't even jump. Chelsea haven't really done anything wrong. They started well, but Liverpool are just working their way into this game, and Chelsea aren't reacting to that.
Yeah. Bronze. Ball down the line. Ramirez giving it chase. Evans puts it out of play.
Yeah, I like it's the no nonsense from Evans today. It is that experience. That is one. Obviously, a lot of people questioned her transfer from Man United to Liverpool and where that quality was. But the one thing she does have in abundance is that experience. She was part of that Man United side who won the FA Cup last season.
I like when you say lots of people. It's always just us.
Yeah.
We questioned that.
No, a lot of people have questioned it because it was interesting. It was a debatable move, but I think that today these games are perfectly suited to her. It's a game where you need experience, where you need that no nonsense defending. Put the ball out, nothing silly. Get the clear your lines properly. No half-assed clearances, no swing and a miss. Just get rid of it. Get solid connection on it, and she's done that brilliantly in the first half an hour.
I think she's also much more suited, one, to the way Liverpool want to play and how they use their centre-backs than how United use their full-backs, and two, to the centre-back position in general. So I don't think she's quick enough or comfortable enough dribbling to play as a full-back.
Yeah. Again, it's a good demonstration of when a full-back does lose half a yard of pace, they can still adjust to playing that centre-half role.
Yeah, I think we've seen Bronze do it a few times this season, play that right centre-half position.
But once again, it feels like it's happened a couple of times this season. Bombastor is in a position where her and Chelsea have got something to think about. Yeah. It's a difficult one.
But they haven't lost a game domestically all campaign. And I think that's the difficult thing now for Liverpool is where do you go from here?
That is true.
Can't read. Because it's all right getting the lead, but it's another thing holding on to it. Bronze. And obviously, in most games, teams will take a draw in this situation, but you can't do that in a semi-final.
Yeah.
It's a cup competition.
But I do think that to the other side of it is that, you think about the teams that Chelsea have trailed to here or have dropped points to here. It was West Ham did very well, but Everton were another one, and Liverpool are better than those sides. And that's where I think it's going to be more difficult for Chelsea, because it's not a case of we sit here and we go, they'll come out for the second half and they'll end up scoring a goal because they're Chelsea. Liverpool are better than that. So it's certainly something to think about. When Crystal Palace came here in the quarter-final and it was 0-0, it just felt inevitable that Chelsea were going to score at some point because, it is Chelsea and they are Crystal Palace. But today, again, it's not as simple. Liverpool leading, as I think... Yeah. It's going to take a lot now for Chelsea, if the way they're playing and the way Liverpool are playing. Unless that Liverpool standard drops, it's going to take a lot for Chelsea to, turn this game over in 90 minutes.
Here is Sondy Baltimore, goes down the line into Aguilar Jones. Beaver Jones looking to cut inside, goes back to Cuthbert, who's turned there with Herving all over her back.
It's done well to hold on to it, because if she loses it there, Chelsea are in big trouble.
Yeah. Throw in now for the Blues on this near side. You feel Chelsea have got to keep coming down this left-hand side. They've had so much more joy down this left-hand side than they have the right.
And again, the form that Beaver Jones is in and the struggle. I mean, Carnreed again, just not really got involved today. She was brilliant against Man City a couple of weeks ago. Haven't really seen that again, though.
Carnreed's always much better on the bigger pitches.
Yeah.
I think she likes the space.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant.
It's a small pitch and it's made to feel tighter by how close the stands are.
Yeah.
And I think for wide players that can be really difficult, especially out-and-out wingers. For dribblers and players who want to cut inside and shoot, like Olivia Smith, they're comfortable on any size pitch. But for players like Carnreed who really like the space to go and use and put a ball in, it's quite difficult to do on a tight pitch.
Yeah. Brilliant hassle that from Beaver Jones to win herself a throw. But Chelsea are just starting to work back the control in this football match.
It's difficult though. They're forcing it a little at the moment.
Yeah,
Chelsea.
That was ambitious, but the problem is when Chelsea are playing the way they are, when you're 4-0 up, that throw probably comes off because Ramirez gets there and you play nice football. But in this kind of game, when it has been as difficult as it is, it's just not going to work. But still plenty of time for Chelsea. They won't, and that is one thing we haven't seen Bombasson and Chelsea do yet this season, is start to rush and panic it. Because time and time again, they do pull it back. So it won't be panic stations just yet. But Liverpool are doing a fine job so far.
Yeah.
And this is a different test of Liverpool now, because in the
Nice play from Chelsea. Captain holding onto the ball nicely. Recycles it. Bronze delivers a low ball into the box. That's cleared away out now for another throw-in.
But it's a different test of Liverpool, because in the Arsenal game, they kept themselves in the game, and then they scored late on. Whereas in this game, they've got the goal pretty early on, and now it's what can they do to hold on for an hour?
It helps Arsenal are the most wasteful team in the WSL.
Yes, they did miss quite a few chances that day.
Probably Leicester.
Yeah.
Walsh ball into the box and they're just getting each other's way there.
Mix up between Beaver Jones and Bronze. I don't know why Bronze is there, to be completely honest. Why
I don't know why Beaver Jones is running towards the front post.
No, they've both made the same run and end up running into each other.
No, they're both making opposite.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, and they've ran into each other. Great defending from Beaver Jones. Stops Bronze getting there. But not what Chelsea need right now. Better from Chelsea to keep Liverpool in the corner, but Fisk is there, gets to the second ball.
Love that from Millie Bright.
Really
Finds Ramirez.
Just not linking up.
That just isn't working.
Front three are just not linking up together. It feels so individual.
Yeah.
I think we could see at least a couple changes for Chelsea at half time at this rate. I think it all depends in terms of that is a foul. Kiernan just brings Bright to the floor, but it all depends. How many minutes has Guro Ryan got in the tank? How many minutes has Michael Hamano got in the tank? Because they're the kind of players with the season they're having and the quality they possess, they can change these kind of games.
Yeah, I think the BBC cameraman's heard you there.
Yeah.
Quick pan to Guro Ryan as you say that. Chelsea free kick. Beaver Jones held by Fisk there.
Fisk goes into the book. Fisk is bemused. I have to agree with her. I think that's very soft. For the first yellow card of the game.
Yeah, it's not Fisk's first, is it?
I think so. I'll tell you, it's a foul, I think. Yeah,
the pull back is denial of an attack, so it's a soft one, but she has stopped Chelsea coming forwards there by just pulling an opponent back. Cuthbert, ball into the box. Headed goalwards.
What a ball. It's another really good ball from Aaron Cuthbert that Chelsea just don't take advantage of. That flick on was 2 goalwards from Bronze. It's got to go back in. It's got to go directly in front of her into that penalty area.
It's incredible how stagnant Chelsea's attack looks when you don't have Lauren James in there. When you don't have Micah Hamano in the attack midfield position.
You just need...
That is a strange booking, actually, on review. Yeah. They touched it.
But, yeah, I think that it's one of those where, Chelsea do just... You can tell they lack someone who can just pick the ball up and take it 5-10 yards up the pitch. Oh, wow. Yeah. Ball's hit the corner flag there and stayed in.
That's now out for a Liverpool throw.
But yeah, I think that if Hamano's got 45 minutes, Hamano will play 45 minutes. Because, again, not been impressed by anyone in that attacking third for Chelsea. Ramirez hasn't got involved.
Right, probably the same if Rutten can come on.
But yeah, Ramirez hasn't got involved. Big Jones hasn't done much. Carnegie again. It's just, I think none of them done horrendously wrong. Not making errors or poor passes. Just none of them really made a dent on the game. You need someone to cut, especially in a semi-final. You need someone in a Chelsea shirt who's going to start, playing like this is a semi-final. And stepping up to the occasion.
Bronze being held there. Now Smith will get there in the middle of the park. Holds the ball up well. Baltimore shrugged off too easily. And it's the overlapping run of Fisk now. And Chelsea opened again here by Liverpool on the counter. Fisk lays it in towards the back post. Important header away from Bjorn. And then Captain clears her lines. So smart from
Herbinger.
Kerr in there. And then it's a strike over the bar from Gemma Bonner. No, from Herbinger. There we go.
Yeah, waste.
Just had Shaw in my head. Weren't her.
Oh, Zara.
Yeah.
She's still on the bench.
No, Zara Shaw was confirmed today out with an ACL injury. Oh. Horrible to say. Played really promising when she got minutes with the absence of everyone in Liverpool's midfield.
Yeah, was absolutely brilliant. For her, for a player of her age to come in and slot in so well.
Yeah.
Was impressive.
She wants looking to switch the play. Fisker's not dealt with that, and that is a Chelsea corner.
She's dealt with it in the game. She stopped Beaver Jones getting there, but that's not what Liverpool needs. Short corner taken quickly. Beaver Jones got to put it in there. Got to put it in there. Goes to Baltimore instead. Cuthbert.
That's
too slow. Too slow from the short
corner. Or she'll just keep it herself. Does sit out for a corner. Another chance for Chelsea to put it in the box.
Picks up, runs over, smashes it in the penalty area.
Phil says Liverpool doing well to exploit Baltimore. Yeah, well, it's a bit of the fact that Baltimore's not a natural left back, and a bit of the fact that Olivia Smith is an incredible player.
Yeah.
So you're gonna look to find her, and you're also gonna look. She's also gonna cause trouble.
Oh, Chelsea asking the question there.
Beaver Jones went down there in the box, but you're not gonna get that as far as anything like last. So far as anything like
that's gonna be very difficult to see, and that tells us nothing.
Good angle, Bailey said.
Laws caught the ball. Well done, Rachel Laws. That was good from her. She's can't well.
The only camera angle they've got was too high.
I think Mary Alex made a very good point about that. Actually, the fact that in the men's game, broadcast about 9 or 10 cameras, whereas as Earp said in the women's game, they've got 2 or 3, if that.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. You look at a lot of the, especially the FA player coverage last year.
Yeah, the games on usually have 1.
Yeah, exactly. It's still the same, isn't it?
Just 1 person. Oh, that's not good enough from Hampton again. Distribution. I think Hannah not too much, but not too much to do. But again, that's a poor pass there. I mean, I think she's got to do better for the goal as well. Realistically, Smith is gonna put it in one place, into that far corner, and you've got to be ready for that. Yeah, Chelsea just really not. It's the reaction that I'm surprised. We haven't seen, fair enough, Chelsea were pretty much in control. Liverpool hit them hard, but we haven't seen a reaction from Chelsea since that goal.
I understand Carnery's frustration there, because she's running onto that ball, and I think she may well have got there, but Hines has just got in the way. That's not how to play Hines on the deck. Oh, she's got... I thought she was out, but it was Fox.
Head injury. Still on the deck. I think she took her time there to decide what part of her body should hurt. Has she hurt her head?
Yeah, she just gets in the way there.
I don't really know how she's hurt her head, to be honest. Yeah, she just blocks Carnery off from running. It's just runs into it. But a chance now for Chelsea to get, for both sides, to get some fluids on board and to have a chat with their managers. And I think this is a chat that Bompastor very much needs with her side.
I think Whiteley does as well, because there's 5 minutes probably left of this half, and we consider there's going to be some additional time for the amount of stoppages there've been. Possibly more than that. I think it's important to keep going for the last 5, because if Chelsea score now, I think it's a very difficult second half for Liverpool to hold on for 45 minutes. But if Liverpool can hold on to the break, get in at half time, get that rest in, that becomes a very difficult game for Chelsea to come back in.
Yeah. Yeah, what a moment for Smith. Big game player coming up once again. I mean, I think I saw that her record against the top 4 clubs in the WSL, Arsenal, Chelsea, City and United, is absolutely, it's incredible. She's now scored against all of them, which is very, very strong.
Yeah.
She put 2 against United this season, 1 against City this season, 1 against Chelsea this season now. I don't think she didn't get the goal. She hasn't got one against Arsenal, I don't think.
No, she scored earlier in the season.
Potentially. But not to, it's been a brilliant campaign. And again, as I say, against the big sides.
So she's not scored against Arsenal yet.
No. But she's done very, very well again in these big games.
Ball in behind, and then Olivia Smith's going to get there again. Baltimore, really good defending from Sandy Baltimore. Uses her body well, and now she'll drive the ball forwards, and she'll carry it well because she is naturally a winger. Lovely bit of skill. Brilliant from Baltimore there to drive the ball forwards, and then Chelsea go back to
passing it slowly around the back.
Didn't use it.
No.
I think it was just
no one else had any urgency.
Yeah.
But Chelsea will come forwards now. Bronze down
to Carnery down this right-hand side. Wants to take on Kapox. That ball in the box are asking a lot of Aggie Viva Jones, but Viva Jones can keep it alive here and recycle the ball. Take on Fisk now. Could go inside, could go outside. Still going Viva Jones. It's going to fall on the edge for Cuthbert with a dramatic turn. It's blocked.
Had shot written all over it.
Bronze. Great burst, and then just runs into Olivia Smith. Just sent up the line. That's out.
Again, one player too many there from Bronze. Just tries to burst past 3 players and manages to skip past 2, and Smith just gets in there at 5 additional. Wow.
Still time then for Chelsea to get a goal in this first half. That's going to feel like 55 for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Bronze. Bjorn back to captain here. Now Carnery to captain. Lovely give and go. Here's Ramirez in this wide area. Wants to run at Evans here. Puts the ball into the box. It's blocked out for a Chelsea corner. 8th of the game for the Blues. And it's their number 8 over this then. Erin Cuthbert. So seen some good deliveries so far. Can she cut with another one?
Yeah. Chelsea looking to come on strong at the end of the half. Again, I'm predicting it's gonna. We look to be another in swinger probably put on top of Rachel Laws.
And always under Baltimore actually to take it this side. Ball into the box and it's headed on by Ramirez, but it's away from goal. Bronze will keep it alive. Puts it in there. And there's just no one there for Chelsea at the front post. The ball didn't have much on it. It was on her weaker foot and she was being thrown on the floor at the time. But
just seemed to skim off Ramirez's head and straight across the face of the goal.
He didn't get enough contact on it, really.
Another big opportunity from a corner.
Right, here is Sandy Baltimore. Pokes it forwards. Captain will try and take it in her stride.
Doing well to compete. Laws' clearance isn't the most convincing. And Baltimore will keep that ball for Chelsea. Now Carnery finds Ramirez. Back to Walsh. Captain again. Here's Baltimore. Ready from Baltimore, breaking into the penalty area. Looks to cut it back. It's blocked into the air. Ramirez wins it to Cuthbert, who pokes it goalwards in off the post, and Chelsea are level. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1. Not the most glamorous goal you're going to see, but Erin Cuthbert, when it matters, comes up with a goal for Chelsea. Important strike from the Scot. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1.
Again, Erin Cuthbert delivering in the big games for the Blues. It's not, as you say, an incredible goal from Cuthbert, but the football before it from Sandy Baltimore was worthy of a goal. Absolutely brilliant. Chops one way, then bursts the other. Gets into the penalty area. The initial cross is blocked. It's really well recycled by Ramirez, and Laws gets a hand to it again. For me, should do better to keep that out, but just manages to creep it. Yeah, she does well to get a hand to it, but just the power behind it for Erin Cuthbert was too much. But Chelsea coming on strong at the end of the half and levelling up this semi-final.
Captain Cuthbert, Chelsea coming forwards. Ball into the box. Avery Jones, the back post. There was a nudge in there from Fisk, but she gets away with it.
Really good defending. That is top defending from Fisk. Just does enough to put Beaver Jones off.
Without going over that line of being too aggressive, you think.
Big couple minutes now for this semi-final. Liverpool have to hold firm. Chelsea are throwing everything at them. Really good response. It was from that Hines going down when both teams had a chance to get in and have a word. Bonpastor taking the opportunity to clearly have a word with their players, get some drinks on board, and Chelsea have thrown everything at Liverpool in this last 5-10 minutes of the half. Still 2 to play. But that's big, as you said. The difference between 1-0 and 1-1 at half time is absolutely massive.
Yeah, night and day. Goes from being Liverpool's favourite to Chelsea's, you feel. Chelsea at home. There's always going to be that extra push in that second half. And Chelsea are a force to be reckoned with anyway.
They've given themselves 45 minutes to find one goal.
Exactly. And the celebration in chat, Clifford saying up the Blues, Laws saying, go on the way, Scott. That's what we love to see. Ryson saying, Cuthbert's such a terrier. And Philly's
really poor from Liverpool there.
But again, her timing from Cuthbert is incredible. Scored the goal in the first leg against Barcelona in last year's Champions League semi-final. Scored the
Lovely flick from Ramirez. Keeps it alive. Beaver Jones, the touch. Can't quite get there with the shot.
big tackle from Bonner. But again, very tidy from Chelsea. Big 40 seconds now. I mean, if they turned it around in this half now, it'd be incredible.
Well, here comes Olivia Smith. Nowhere to go there. Goes down clutching her face. Hasn't had any sympathy yet from Kirsty Dow.
I think it's accidental from Cuthbert. I don't think she means to catch her, but it isn't a nice one. Cuthbert just goes to be physical and just shoulder barge her, and Smith stops dead, so Cuthbert kind of just misses her, and
Catches over the elbow. Again, I don't think there's any intention there.
No, it's
It's
Cuthbert.
not that kind of play.
Yeah,
There's no swing. It's more just there. She's that's running motion.
Cuthbert's running in to meet her and go shoulder to shoulder, but as Cuthbert does that, Smith looks to cut back and go past her.
Here's Beaver Jones driving towards goal, brought down in there, and that is given as a no. I thought it's just for a kick. It's the end of the half. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1, half time here at Kings Meadow. Liverpool led through the Olivia Smith strike. Chelsea levelling up just before the half, though, with Erin Cuthbert curling one over Rachel Laws. And that means at the break, Chelsea and Liverpool are level, a goal apiece.
Yeah, perfectly poised is this semi-final. And sets up a very, very interesting second 45 minutes, as you say. I think it's balanced. I think this is a deserved result. I think Liverpool are have earned that to be in this game. They've played very, very well. It was a very well taken goal by Olivia Smith. But Chelsea, they were the better side for the majority of the half, and that the force they came forward with at the end of that 45, the push from everyone in a Chelsea shirt was worthy of the goal, and they eventually got it. It's just, sometimes for Chelsea, we saw it there, we've seen it other times this season. It is as simple as just keep pushing and just force the ball into the net. And that is kind of what happened there. Baltimore chopped back beautifully. It was blocked. Ramirez picked up on it, just flicked it into the penalty area, and Cuthbert just lifts it into the net. So Chelsea did very, very well. It took them a good 20 minutes to respond, but we finally got that response at the end of the half. And as I said, sets up a very, very competitive second 45 minutes of football. Could go either way. If we don't get a goal, we're going to extra time penalties. What more could you want from an FA Cup semi-final?
Yeah, indeed. It's been a very hotly contested one so far. I think Liverpool have matched Chelsea for work ethic. I think we had that spell early in the half where Chelsea were the dominant force, made life very difficult for Liverpool. But as the half went on, I think we started to see Liverpool come more into their own. They felt a bit more confident coming forwards, and I think we sort of seen a lot this season actually with Chelsea, in that when Liverpool move that ball quickly, when they transition quickly, Chelsea can get caught in those transitional moments. So yeah, Maria says, I'd sub Bronze off. There seems to be a lot of space on her side. Liverpool just haven't used it yet. But that's the thing. I don't think that's a problem.
No.
And I don't think that space is limited by bringing on Ashley Lawrence. I think that makes a difference. Liverpool are creating space on the right hand side. Chelsea are deliberately going to double up on that on their left hand side.
Yeah.
Because they know the threat of Olivia Smith. And it's not that Cornelia Fox is a bad player by any stretch. I mean, you look for the Smith goal, Bronze is in no man's land.
Yeah.
But that's what Chelsea's intention is that Bronze can get higher because there's not as much threat there, whereas Baltimore's sitting off. Now, that's not how Chelsea usually play. Chelsea usually have a situational back three where Bronze tucks in, Baltimore gets high, and Carnreid holds the width. And this is probably also why Carnreid's impact has been lessened today.
Yeah.
Because Bronze is going to be higher, because they want to have Baltimore sitting deeper to try and deal with the threat posed by Olivia Smith. I think if there was going to be a sub, despite her attacking contribution so far, I think it would be Santi Baltimore for me. But it's difficult to say who you bring in there. I think Charles can do that role well. Yeah, it's a tough one. And again, it's probably why Carnreid's suffering at the moment in that position, because her and Bronze are pretty much playing the same role.
Yeah, Chelsea have got to be careful now because, as you say, Liverpool still pack that punch and they are going to have to get it right, because if Baltimore does stay on the pitch, then that threat is still very, very alive for Liverpool with Smith on that right-hand side. And I don't think it's one of those where I don't think anyone's at fault for the goal. It's as simple as Chelsea had the ball, they got caught out, Liverpool moved it very quickly from back to front, and when you are caught out of position, it means the space was there in behind, and when you've got a player like Herbinger who can play that wonder ball through to Olivia Smith, it did catch Chelsea out. And as you say, that happens in football sometimes. When you are a top side and you do throw players forward, if the opposition win it back and manage to move it quickly, you're going to get caught out, and that led to the goal. But I think it was weird because we had that 10, then that next 10-15 was very competitive, and Liverpool were potentially the better side in that passage. And then Chelsea just went back to taking control and put all that pressure on.
But that's when the space opens that Chelsea can exploit. When you become complacent, when you start coming forwards more often, that's when gaps open up. That's when mistakes happen. I think we saw for the Chelsea goal, it was just a catalogue of the ball bouncing around, a catalogue of errors where Liverpool, so many players could have dealt with it and they didn't. And then Chelsea take advantage of that. It wasn't a convincing strike. It wasn't going in any catalogue for goals of the season. No. But it's in the back of the net, and that's the important thing for Aaron Cuth. But Artemis went to the stream saying, guys, just tuned in. Where can I find the YouTube live link for the match? Is there any? Unfortunately not. This game is live exclusively in the UK, at least on the BBC. I think the US, it's ESPN Plus. If you're outside those countries, I'm not sure what it's on. If you can't find a way to watch it, then you're welcome to join us here. Clifford says, bring on Kurt and both of the Jameses. I'm not sure we can bring on Reece James, and obviously Lauren James is injured, so probably more chance of bringing on Reece James at this rate. Sam Kerr also not on the bench, so all players we can't look at. In terms of players we could be looking at though for Chelsea, what changes do you think Chelsea should make?
There's so much quality, and Chelsea have a lot of options. I think that it depends how comfortable Chelsea feel in that game, because if Chelsea think they're going to need more firepower to turn this one over, then I think you've got to be questioning how many minutes can Guro Reiten play, how many minutes can Michael Hermano play, because they're the kind of players that could come on in the second half at half time and just take control of this football match. Yeah. But Chelsea, now they've levelled, I think it's a very different question, because they're not needing 2 goals, they only need 1, and I think they will back themselves to turn this around, the quality they've got on the pitch. But as you say, Charles is on there. Chelsea feel like they want to be a little bit more secure at the back, but you don't want to bring something.
Well, my stuff would be quite unorthodox, so I'd go Khan Reed for Charles, which in theory, when you just say it like that, sounds mental. But I would then move Charles left back, push Baltimore to left wing, and move Aggie over to the right hand side. Because I think with Beaver Jones there, she's going to drive inside more, leaving space for Bronze. With Baltimore on the left-hand side, firstly, we've seen how dangerous she can be on that left flank. Yeah. But also, she's going to track the run of Fisk when she does get high. Yeah. So that offers that double protection. And also, when you're defending deep areas, you've then got 2 players who are very comfortable dealing with Olivia Smith. Which I think the more people who are comfortable dealing with Smith, the better. So that would be my change. I don't know if there will be any changes at half-time, though. I think there's a good chance that Sonia keeps it the same. I think there may be a desire to get Guro Reiten onto the pitch, but I'm not sure she'll be wanting to do that just yet.
Yeah, even if we've seen it from Bonpastor, I was thinking, I think Wiedmann, but we've seen it from Bonpastor how when she doesn't, she's not one of those managers where if she doesn't make changes at half time, we don't see subs until 60-70. If she will not, there's a very good chance that Chelsea don't make any changes at half time, and then Sonia makes a change at 52, at 55, because she hasn't seen that impact. And that's what I like from Bonpastor. Rather than, and I think it's very interesting. You see a lot of managers, when their side need to score a goal, what they do is they wait, and then they just throw 4 players on in the 65th minute. Instead, what Bonpastor does is she puts 2 on in the 55th, then 2 on in the 60th, then 2 off in the 60th, one. She can't put 6 players on, but then puts mates, and then she just makes those changes gradually, always bring an impact, which is why I think that, especially the quality Chelsea have got on that bench, I think we could see Reiten and Macario after 55 minutes. Then we could see Fischel and whoever you want to bring on in 60 minutes. And then suddenly that impact keeps coming for Chelsea. So I think that with the subs, if Bonpastor plays it smartly, Liverpool are going to find it very difficult to withstand the Chelsea pressure in the second half. I just think that it's going to... Chelsea... If anything, when you've got players like Guro Reiten on the bench, if anything, your side gets stronger when you bring them on, and that is a worry. That will be a worry for Liverpool. But for them, they will try to just not deviate from their game plan, play their football, keep doing what they've been doing in the first half. And at the end of the day, if Chelsea's quality overwhelms you, that happens, and you can't do anything about it. But I think for Liverpool, stick to your guns, just keep doing what you're doing, and if you win this game, you win this game. If you don't, then you don't. That'll be the key. If Liverpool don't drop their standard, then it won't be on them if they do lose this match.
Yeah, because I think there is that natural like impulse to drop deeper here for Liverpool and try and protect this league. But I'm not sure that's necessarily the best way to deal with Chelsea.
No.
If you drop too deep, Chelsea are just going to use the space on the edge of the box, and one of their very talented players is going to hit a strike top corner.
Yeah.
I think the best way of trying to defend against Chelsea is trying to attack against Chelsea, because then you put the pressure on them, which, trying to withhold Chelsea pressure is very difficult. But if you flip it and you go and put pressure on them, it becomes more difficult to handle. So it becomes easier to handle and more difficult for Chelsea to have such consistent attacks. I think the problem for a lot of teams is they allow Chelsea to have those waves of pressure.
Yeah.
They just keep coming forwards, and anyone that's taken GCSE geography will know erosion exists.
Erosion,
and eventually your walls will be broken down and Chelsea will find a way through. So I think they've got to keep playing the way they are, Liverpool. They've got to keep bringing that ball forwards and make life difficult for Chelsea in the opposition half.
Yeah, Chelsea we're hoping it'll take 50 years to erode away that Liverpool back line. But
that's true.
Yeah, it's
slightly faster erosion.
They'll be hoping it happens in the next 45 minutes, which would be the quickest erosion ever. But yeah, I think that this is... I like the fact that just generically on the FA Cup, I like the fact that we've got two very different semi-finals. We've got a game today where it's been very much about phases, where Chelsea in the opening phase were better, Liverpool then had a phase where they had control, and then Chelsea at the end of the half won it back. Tomorrow, I think it's going to be a very, very end-to-end game. But I like the way that today so far in that first half panned out. The fact that both sides have been trading, not dominant phases, but phases where they've been the better side. Chelsea were better for 20 minutes. Liverpool were then probably better for the next 10, 15 after that. And then right at the end of the half, when it mattered, Chelsea went back, took that control away from Liverpool and went and scored an equaliser. And I like that because it means it is very equal. And you know that end-to-end is obviously brilliant because it's crazy and it's chaotic and you don't know what's going to happen because either side could score any minute. But when you have these waves of control from both sides, it's a good tactical and balanced match. And I think that as long as Liverpool don't come out and get blown out the water in the second half, it'll be another one where you give credit to what Amber Whiteley has done, come in as the interim and implemented a style that means they can challenge with the likes of Chelsea, which means they can go and beat Arsenal, which means they can go and beat Man United. And that if they get knocked out today 2-1, I think that, they're not going to say great result because it's very disappointing to get knocked out of semi-final, but it will be another positive that they've gone away to Kings Meadow, gone to Sonia Bombastor's Chelsea and put up a very, very good fight. And who knows, they're still level. They could hold on 45 minutes and take, and win. They could win because they can still win this game.
Yeah, this game's far from over. It's going to be a very good, exciting 45. But will also be a very exciting match. Casting our eye towards tomorrow, Man City versus Man United. Do join us for that from 2:45. I'm looking forward to that one as well.
Yeah, no idea what is going to happen in that film match, and that's
no
what
idea
I mean.
who's going to play.
Yeah, who's injured, who's
City
not.
will probably change the manager before that, between now and then.
Shaw and Hemp back. Fagino back, so maybe not. I don't think any of them would start. But if you've got those three coming off the bench, then it's gonna. I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. To be completely honest, that again today, it's not predictable in terms of we know what the result was going to be. We know who's going to win, but we could kind of gauge how the game was going to play out, and that has played out as expected. Tomorrow, I have no idea who's going to win or what on earth's going to happen in that football match.
Lucky says no way Olivia Smith will be at Liverpool next season. I think the problem is I don't really see where she goes.
But they're not a bad club.
Because, it's a decent standard. Liverpool will probably finish 6th this year, 5th, 6th this year, something like that.
They get 5th.
Indeed. And the problem is Liverpool are in a position, due to her contract, that they can demand a decent... I think she had a 3-year when she joined. So next seat, so that she'll be up to... she'll have 2 years left on the deal this summer. I think Liverpool are very keen to extend that.
Yeah.
But they're not in a position where they have to sell this summer, so they can demand a very decent figure. And I don't think there's any sides in the WSL at the moment who would pay that.
Yeah, and that's the thing, as you say, the only clubs in the league who really are an upgrade for her are one of the, either Man City, Man United, Arsenal or Chelsea. Brighton, if they're feeling ambitious. And
Brighton don't have 500,000 though.
Well, they do, if they do. But Brighton Football
Tony
Club,
Bloom has 500.
he has 500 grand. Whether he wants to give it to Liverpool,
Brighton's budget isn't
Yeah.
500,000.
but yeah, I think that
But based on how they recruited last summer, it shows there's an ambition there.
Yeah.
I don't think that translates
Like
to
£500,000.
£500,000 on Olivia Smith, but there's certainly an ambition there. I think, would someone like Leon consider her? Probably not, 'cause I've got 100 attackers. I've got all of the world's strikers.
It's very difficult.
That's the bracket teams, and
Yeah.
Barca as well. They've got 500 right wingers, so that's the bracket teams that Olivia Smith should be looking at, and none of them is there's a viable option. I think the most viable one would be Arsenal.
Yeah. The other
Because
problem...
I don't think that they have incredible winger options, but they're probably going to go sign Chloe Kelly instead.
Yeah. The other problem is
She's
that
free.
Liverpool are a complete unknown at the moment. We have no idea who their manager's going to be next season. It could be Amber Whiteley.
That's true.
It should be Amber. It could
I think Matt Beard's going to come back.
Yeah.
Just go like the
5-4-1.
like the Undertaker. They don't announce it till the season opener, and then he just appears as a coffin in the middle of the pitch, and then as it's about to kick off, the doors open,
the lights go down.
it pops up.
Matt Beard's here. 5-4-1. They just draw every game 0-0. But no, I like Matt Beard. I think he's a very good coach at what he does. But it's good to see a Liverpool side using their quality and being attacking, being aggressive.
And it will be Liverpool to get us back underway. Leanne Kiernan knocks it back, and we're back underway here at Kings Meadow. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1 at half time. The Blues looking to build on what was a very important equaliser at the end of the first half. Liverpool looking to hold on to what they've got and look for a winner as well. And well, Liverpool will punt this ball forward from Gemma Bonner, but it'll be Bright and Baltimore who will deal with that. Baltimore knocking it back towards Bright, who's currently being chased very quickly by Leanne Kiernan. And for Bright, she'll feel a sigh of relief that she managed to get there.
Yeah, Bright was aware of it, which is the main thing. If she was unaware of it, then Kiernan would have fancied herself.
Good hold up from Beaver Jones, and Fisk there catches her with a late tackle, and I think she's got to be careful, Fisk. She's on a yellow. As harsh as that might have been, she is on a yellow. She's got to be careful.
As a fourth official stood on the sideline, would have sent her off by now. But yeah, I think that these are massive moments in this semi-final now. This start early stage of the second half, because if Chelsea get on top and start to really put Liverpool under the pump, then it's going to be a very difficult second half.
Well, that's another one there where I think the human side refereeing comes in, because that is a yellow card.
Yes.
But Kirsty Down just knows that the first one was probably not a yellow card, and also doesn't want to put Liverpool down to 10 players in the 46th minute.
And completely ruin this final.
It says semi-final. Big tackle from Bright, stops Olivia Smith just running in on goal. And this is worrying Olivia Smith down, holding her ankle. Well,
yeah, I think Bright got a little bit of her, but again, it was another one where neither of them backed out of it, and Bright got the ball. Let's have a look.
That was different because she wasn't tackling that one, Smith. So
she was running at it.
But she wins the ball and just catches the player a bit. There's going to be a natural follow through. It's not. There's no stud showing.
It's not James Tarkovsky kind of level.
Indeed.
Win the ball and then just go through her knee. Yeah, they're hoping with the injury worries that Olivia Smith's had this season that there is no such problems with this. It did look to be a contact injury, but it's not looking too good at the moment, have to be said. It doesn't actually look to be her. I mean, she just got caught on the top of the foot, I thought.
Oh, well, again, we do a pan to Guro Wrighton, who is eating...
Looks like those shape things, those cheese savouries.
Possibly. I thought they were gummy bears.
They might have been. Well, good to know she's ready to come on if Chelsea need her.
Well, gummy bears are good.
Just having a great time.
It gives you energy, don't you?
I'm not sure many athletes would suggest that.
Yeah. Jamie Vardy has like a pack of Haribo and a Red Bull before a game. He just sprints around.
Don't get for 60 minutes, so he just
has to come up. Yeah. It's a Duracell bunny, and then his batteries run out.
It's big for Chelsea to have Guro back on the bench and back with the squad for this crunch time of the season. She is the type of player that can win semi-finals, can win your club trophies. She's done it before for Chelsea. She's a big game player, Guro Wrighton. And I think people have forgotten that over the last couple of years.
Yeah. Jared Fraser says, if I was Smith, I wouldn't extend. Surely she can sit out another year before deciding. Yeah, but I think Liverpool will be keen to make sure she extends, because if they let her run her contract down to next summer, then she's only got a year left, in which case they have to sell and they will then get a lower fee.
Yeah.
Or risk losing her on a free. For Smith, the advantage of extending her contract is that she can make more money.
Yeah, it also depends how much they want to throw at her.
I think that if there's budget there for Liverpool and you can get money out of Liverpool, I think she should sign a new contract. She's still only 20. There's no rush for Smith.
20.
And I think the market isn't there this summer. There's no telling the market's going to be there next summer for Olivia Smith. So she's got to be mindful of that fact. And I think regardless, she's going to fetch a big fee. So it doesn't really matter if she signs a contract now or not.
She's got a decade to reach or play at the top and play at the top level, at least.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she's going to get to 30 and just become rubbish, but if we like top, I'm talking world class top level. She's got at least a decade, so there's no rush. She is already playing for a very established football club in the best league in the world, so there's no rush for her to jump ship and take a risk on another football team.
Liverpool are keen on extending contracts. We saw Grace Fisk sign a new deal in the week.
It's good to see they're not just going to let everyone leave like they did at the end of last season.
Yeah, that is true.
No, here's our good.
It's a problem, not just at Liverpool, it's a problem
yeah.
with the women's game in a wider scale. You look at Elizabeth Turner leaving Brighton. I mean, I know Brighton have come on loads, but
Imagine
they lost their best player. Well, imagine they sold her for 500,000 rather than
and then
nothing.
bought Olivia Smith.
Bought a lot of Olivia Smith last summer.
Yeah.
Liverpool only paid, 100,000 for her?
I still can't believe they did that.
Maybe 200,000 for her, but even still. They got 2.5 Olivias.
Yeah. Brighton, they don't won the league. If they'd kept or sold Turner for a big fee, they would have won the league. That's my hot take.
Different player though, isn't she? I don't think she's as effective in the press as Vidicic would want.
No. Liverpool done well, but like first 5 minutes, I said this was the early stage of the second half were big for this semi-final because if Chelsea get control, it's going to be tough for Liverpool. But Liverpool done well; they're really holding their own. They struggled towards the end of the half, but they've come out in the second half and they've picked up where they left off in about the 35th minute.
It was 210,000. Just hoping to find a contract there for it.
Tackle from Bronze is a good one. On Hines, Cuthbert sends the ball through to Carnery. This is good from Chelsea. Carnery's cross is blocked and that will go out for was it a throw or a corner? Couldn't quite tell. It is going to be a throw. Better from Chelsea. When they move that ball with 1-2 touch football, Liverpool do struggle to keep up a little bit. Really good link up between Walsh and Carnery on the right hand side. Again, smashed out of play by Herbinger. Bronze with a throw. It's a good one. Ramirez looks to get round Evans. Evans again. Good defending. Good minds.
And now Liverpool looking to break. Held up well by Kiernan. Hines lifts it down the line, and that's someone to stay in touch. Billy says, I think Arsenal would be interested in the summer. Chloe Kay's been very quiet about staying past the loan. I wonder if she's happy in Manchester and looking at United. The problem is, she wouldn't be able to manage in the Baller League. So, I think she's going to say,
A really good point.
Here's Ramirez. They're going to cut inside, looking to cause trouble. Ramirez.
I don't know if to shoot.
Just have a shot.
Still going.
That's
Good recovery from Evans.
Cleared away by Evans. Falls to Bronze now.
No idea why Ramirez didn't just shoot.
But Bright. That's Baltimore. There's Vika captain. Now Walsh. Back to Bright. And it's swung in the box once more. Capox heads it down. Here's captain. No one wants to shoot for Chelsea. Vivian Jones does take a shot. It's blocked. Price from Bronze doesn't have enough on it. And now Liverpool will look to break. Olivia Smith sends it forwards. Cut out in the air by Millie Bright. And now it's Baltimore. It's all Chelsea at the moment. But nobody wants to shoot in a blue shirt. And Olivia Smith, that was a bit of a rogue tackle.
Just about got it right. Well, didn't get it right or wrong.
Yeah, didn't catch enough of the play for it to be a foul, but didn't actually win the ball.
Just kind of fell in a bit of a grey area. We are playing football. The cameraman's not realised, and we're just watching the sideline.
Yeah. Cuthbert carries that ball really well. Now has to go back though.
Because Chelsea equalised just for half, it means they haven't got to rush it. They're not going to force it. They know they've got time. They can be patient. They are going to have to start shooting soon, though, because they keep getting into the 6-yard box and trying to pass it.
On Chloe Kelly,
Yes.
is there any chance she stays at Man City now that Taylor's gone?
Potentially.
Or is that dreamed over?
I mean, you say she wants to manage the Ball League, but her side haven't won a game yet, so she might get sacked.
Can she get sacked?
I don't
I'm not really
know.
Sure.
But
I think she seems
back the foot,
not
mate.
like the club, but and I think she will want
Yeah.
to manage the Baller League. I think she's going to Arsenal.
and everyone loves her ass.
CW, well, yeah, she's had loads of fun days. CW says Olivia Smith should go to City, so we'll never see her in the UWCL.
That's the thing. I know. Okay, right. 38. Yes, City have a stronger squad, but what else does City have over Liverpool?
Money,
Do they?
chance to win trophies.
Do they though?
They reached the League Cup final. There's a good chance
They did do
reached
that.
the FA Cup final.
I forgot they did that.
They're into the Champions League quarterfinals. Yeah, they won't have Champions League football next season, but there's a much better chance they get Champions League the year after than Liverpool do.
Well, it depends.
There's more investment.
If
Khadija Shaw's there.
it could, well, yeah, but that's the thing. City have got to find. We'll obviously mention it tomorrow, but City have got to find a solution to all their players getting injured, rather than just going never mind and just losing every game.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that's done it again. It's back to that season where they've just gone, oh, Hemp and Shaw are injured, so we're just going to be
the
rubbish.
problem is they sign lots of players who can cover multiple positions so they can have a smaller squad. But the problem is when those players get injured, you then don't have anyone to cover those positions.
Yeah.
So Miedemar has played a lot of minutes in midfield, but she's also their backup striker. So when Miedemar gets injured, they now don't have a backup striker and don't have a middle midfielder. And so that's two problems they then have to fix. And the same goes for loads of players, because Park plays attack midfield, but she also plays on the wing. Fowler plays on the wing.
What a
Front,
tackle.
it's,
What a tackle from Bonner.
Huge.
That is a game
Hugely
saving tackle.
important.
Beaver Jones opened up her body to shoot, and Bonner gets in there with a brilliant tackle. Again,
It's pure.
easy to get that one wrong. Easy to give away a penalty.
Bronze now. Cuts inside, back across to Bright. Now out to Sandy Baltimore. He'll carry it forwards. Big tackle from Olivia Smith out now for a Chelsea throw. Everyone for Liverpool is in their own half in this second half.
They, I'm not saying the mentality is there, but in terms of how the game momentum, this is leaning towards Liverpool needing extra time and penalties to get a result out of this. Unless they hit Chelsea on the break.
But they did the same in the first half. First 20 minutes, they barely came out of their own half, and then suddenly they spring forwards and they score, and then the game opens up from there.
Oh, Ramirez.
Cuthbert takes aim, blocked wide, corner for Chelsea, and they're going to keep that corner counter ticking up.
In the last few weeks, has been Chelsea's biggest attacking threat.
Yeah.
Just picking, play because she's playing higher than she usually does when Chelsea plays single
Scored
pivot.
the winner in the WSL game against Man City.
But again, big game player. Scores in the semi-final. Scores the last-minute winner against City.
Scored the same final against Barcelona last year, didn't she?
She loves a goal in the big games.
And if she scores next Sunday, I'm running to Barcelona. Just
I
thinking
will
that's
walk
done.
500 miles.
Ball into the box, headed on target, kept alive here by Chelsea. Baltimore heads it in the air, get flicked on. Smith does hook it clear. No one for Liverpool up there though to keep hold of the ball, so Chelsea will have to keep it in touch. I don't know why Emily White sprinted to that because everyone's got to get in position, so she's not really.
And she went in way too hard and fast.
She's done a high intensity sprint.
Yeah, for sure. Knocked the ball boy over.
She's only got a few high intensity sprints in. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't waste one getting the ball. That's not disrespectful though. She's chasing Kieran behind. I'd rather that
game management
does a big sprint.
Oh, what a ball that is! What a ball into
Beaver
Beaver Jones. Good defending again from
Fisk.
Fisk. Really impressive Fisk today.
No, Jada Rose, you can watch the stream. It is live on the BBC if you want to watch it live and you're in the UK. If you're outside the UK, then the US is on ESPN. Outside of that, I'm not sure. If you can't find a way to watch it, feel free to join us here for live commentary. Ramirez trying to hold on to that ball out again for a Chelsea throw-in. So just to keep the pressure on here. And Baltimore able to keep that in touch.
It's better. It has been good from Chelsea, but again, we're sat in a situation where, if from a Liverpool point of view, they've nearly seen out the first 15 minutes of this half.
Yeah. We're fast approaching the hour mark.
And suddenly it goes from Chelsea having to be, can be patient and having loads of time, to Chelsea, that half an hour mark comes up quite quickly. Still no changes either, which just surprised me a little bit.
Ball forward from Chelsea into the hands of Laws. Jade Rose is from Australia. I guess, is it Optus? Whatever it is out there.
Optus is over there, yeah.
Probably that.
I think changes are coming. Oh, no.
No, there's an injury for Leanne Kiernan down clutching her knee. Which will be worrying. As David says, an Optus. There you go. Or VPN. Which we do not publicly condone.
Issue for Kiernan will give Liverpool and Chelsea players a chance to get some drinks in and to have another chat with their coach. But yeah, big half an hour coming up now. Yeah, Romaine Haug is readying herself. So this does look to be the end of Kiernan's game, which is slightly worrying. Off the ball as well. Oh no, it wasn't. What happened? Oh, just turning. Just turning. That is not a nice one.
She plants her foot,
Yeah.
and you can see there the moment where she realises that knee's gone. That'll be a worrying one.
Yeah. Romaine Haug can come into this game though and have an impact. Give Liverpool a target to aim for. Give Liverpool someone who can hold the ball up and just relieve a bit of the pressure. Still doesn't look to be any changes for Chelsea. But again, will there be a reluctance from Bonpassor to make changes because of the Champions League semi-finals coming up? Does she want to risk players? Does she, if she can avoid it, she doesn't want to end up having to give players loads and loads of minutes. So, but on the flip side of that, surely you want to bring players off to rest them up. So it's a weird one. Yeah, that'll be the end of Leanne Kiernan. Who's Courtney Kiernan?
Courtney Kiernan, CC.
Leanne Kiernan's game.
Indeed.
I have to say, it's such a strong Liverpool away support. Credit to them. They've taken up a very decent chunk of that stand.
Yeah, and it helps as well. They wear red. It looks so vivid.
Yeah.
Up against the blue. It's quite a nice visual.
Haven't seen Basil yet today.
No, I was going to say.
There's no way he's missed an FA Cup semi-final.
No, up the cup. Come on, Chelsea. It's his catchphrase.
Yeah. If
One of many.
anything, it's the one competition he should be at.
Maybe they're trying to sit down. No way. Maybe on the roof or something.
Big half an hour now. Big half an hour.
Yeah, Speaker can't see. Gone back in there by Liverpool. Hervinger loses that under little pressure from Walsh. Viva Jones plays it back to Cuthbert.
Erin Cuthbert running the show out there today. It's one of the evening.
To Bronze. And that is
not good enough.
Not a great ball.
It's played at 2 in the afternoon. Very fair. It's a lovely afternoon, has to be said. Hotting up on the pitch, hotting up outside.
Hotting up in the studio.
Yes.
Might crack a window open.
That's what we like.
Hopefully there's no goals in a minute.
No. Laws of the goal kick. Liverpool to restart play. Very well. They have pushed Chelsea all the way in the first hour of this match. But a big half an hour coming up now. Bronze with the throw. It's a good one. Ramirez holds it up. Again, well defended by Evans. Goes back to Bronze. Bronze goes directly in the captain. Better from Chelsea. He's going to fall the cut. Why is Bronze not left that?
Bronze does well. Oh, she touches it to Cuthbert. Now Aguilar Jones looking to make something happen. Ball into the box. It flashes across the area.
Wow.
And seen out for a corner by Taylor Hines. For a moment there, it looked like Chelsea may find that crucial leading goal.
Yeah. It's one of those where Chelsea, you don't quite get that sense of inevitability yet, but that's definitely that sense that Chelsea are coming on very strong. And again, important from Hines, because if not, there was Ramirez or Carnereid would have got there at the back post.
They've got each other's way trying to find a goal. Cuthbert ball into the box. Unable to get there. Aguilar Jones. Bronze will keep it alive. Now Kira Walsh. Delivers into the box, into a dangerous area. Bright across goal. Blocked. It's captain. Swing and a miss. Does recycle the ball. Beaver Jones now looking to create a shot. Blocked well and cleared away in there. Liverpool dealing with the ball effectively. And now Chelsea back to goalkeeper Hannah Hampton. Another chance there, though, for Chelsea goes begging.
Again, another great ball into the box, and Millie Bright, who'd stayed up from the corner, just keeps it alive. Luckily for Liverpool, it was a red shirt that got it away and met it first.
Baltimore. Now to Vika Captain. Captain finds Bjorn. Bjorn into Bronze. Now Carnareid. Cuts inside. Captain again. Has a player in the wide area. Goes to Bronze. Now Bjorn. No option down the channel. She's forced back to Hampton. Good pressure from Liverpool there. They covered a lot of the Chelsea options. Made it difficult for them to play forwards, but Chelsea will switch from right to left. Baltimore to Beaver Jones. Nice touch and turn, and she'll drive with the ball here. Aggie Beaver Jones. Options to her left and right. Goes to the right-hand side, opening up the pitch. Here is Lucy Bronze looking to deliver it in towards the box. Claimed well by Rachel Laws. Very important claim there from the Liverpool goalkeeper.
Really good goalkeeping that. It's brave. It's assertive. Chelsea players flooded that 6-yard box, but Rachel Laws gets up and holds on to it. Really good football from the Blues. Beaver Jones.
Captain's awareness there of where Bronze is. So let that run through her legs. Let that ball run through to the fullback. Really intelligent play from Vika Captain. Really smart play from a young player. And yeah, Laws does well to clutch that out of the air.
Again, experienced goalkeeping from Laws, who did injure herself while grabbing that ball and now has an issue.
I feel like I've seen Rachel Laws injured for most of this season.
Yeah. Chelsea
Every game I've watched, she's been down injured at some point. And it is Sioka Nuskin for Myra Ramirez. So, Nuskin up front. Sioka Nuskin does score goals. I assume this will be Aggie Jones to lead the line. Nuskin to fullback. Baltimore to left wing. Captain out wide. Nuskin in 10, something like that.
I've no idea what Bombastor's done here.
Are they actually putting Nuskin on up front? We'll wait and see.
Yes, there was no contact, by the way, on Laws when she grabbed it. It was just when she landed or when she went up. I don't know. But, I mean, they're just going to tape it up.
As Alyssa said, it's quite early for the 70-minute sit-down.
Yeah. It's definitely an issue, but I think I've seen her knee taped for at least 2/3 of Liverpool's games.
I've not watched a Liverpool game where she's not been down at some point. Genuinely, like,
and we always
Everton, I remember her going down.
We always sit here and think, oh, she's got to come off, and then suddenly she miraculously just gets up.
Tegan Maigay has done so many warm-ups this season.
They never get to bench goalkeeper on the planet.
I've even seen Tanya Daniels warm up to come on in goal.
That's brilliant. I think Laws are just like trying to give everyone a little bit of excitement. And we get to see a striker come on in goal.
But that is something that Amber Whiteley has picked up from Matt Beard. Time-wasting tactics. The dark arts. Here's Vika Captain. Knocks the ball out wide. Just trying to get there. Hines knocks it out of play.
Again, I'm not questioning the medical credentials of the Liverpool physios, but I don't know how much that tape is going to help her.
Yeah.
So what work out what's going on?
Sorry, I'm just trying to see who's playing
Captain's
where
on
for Chelsea.
Welsh, I don't know. I think Welsh is out of position.
Yeah, she just ran into this wide space. It's done really well to keep that on and drag 3 Chelsea players off the pitch with her. Here comes Capox. Cuthbert across well. Now Chelsea in possession. It looks like, I think Conrad's gone to left wing and Beaver Jones through the middle.
And I think Captain's on the right.
Yeah.
It's interesting, yeah.
Ball up the line from Baltimore. Not
especially when you've got.
I'm not sure Ramirez would have been the player I took off.
No, but also when you've got Wrighton, Hamano, Macario, Fischel all sat on the bench, and you bring on a central midfielder for a striker.
Yeah.
It's unorthodox from Bombastor. I'm not going to question it. She's won loads and loads of titles, so.
I'll question it tomorrow if we don't win. Or Monday. Baltimore does well to win that back in there. Liverpool players want a foul. It wasn't one though. Here's Erin Cuthbert. Spreads the play. Vika Captain, who is now on the right flank for Chelsea. Waits for Bronze to overlap. Now plays that pass to Lucy Bronze. It does feel like Nuskin's just playing up front. I think they've got 2 strikers now, Nuskin and Beaver Jones, and then
I like it.
a midfield 2. Here's Bright. Takes aim from range, and that one has winded Gemma Bonner.
I'm not surprised.
But Liverpool coming forward, so play will continue. Olivia Smith. Still carrying that ball forwards. Walsh could have committed a tactical foul there. Doesn't. Smith lays to Cox. Cox's touch is poor.
Smith is rightfully frustrated because it's a brilliant drive from herself. And then she plays the pass to Cox, who's caught flat-footed and takes a heavy touch. I understand her frustration because that is a brilliant run. And now Chelsea are coming the other way.
Indeed they are. Carnereid comes inside. Pass blocked. So goes to Baltimore. Clifton and Alyssa pointing out it's magic tape, Harry. That's what Rachel Laws uses. Hines. And that is a poor pass in there from just, I don't know, pressure really.
Yeah, rubbish is what it was.
She tried to play it out to the left back, but the left back had come inside Hines, and she knew that because Hines had just given her the ball. It was a blindsided pass. It was completely unnecessary. Just panics, I think, they're in possession. Nice flick towards bronze there from Captain. Now Nuskin.
Oh, twinkle toes from Shaka Nuskin.
Holds on to it well. Now Baltimore, who did well to make the angle for that pass. Carnereid has Baltimore inverting. She'll come inside now. Ball inside. Beaver Jones will take aim. Saved well by Rachel Laws. Huge stop from the Liverpool goalkeeper.
It's a really good stop, but Beaver Jones and Nuskin just run into each other. There's really good reactions from Laws, but it's straight out from Beaver Jones.
It feels like we're playing two strikers. And that's the problem. They've both gone into the same space there.
Beaver Jones looks to chest it down and shoot, and Nuskin's just in the way.
It's fired directly at the goalkeeper. Got to be looking either side of there.
But Beaver Jones is frustrated because her initial chest down to knock it in front of her, ready to shoot, was brilliant. But Nuskin's just right in front of her. They do well to work it into a shot. Brilliant reactions from Laws, but Chelsea should have made it more difficult. Here's Carnereid cutting in, has a go. There's been taken a nick off someone, and it will be a corner. Laws is furious that it was that easy for Carnereid to cut inside. But coming up big is Rachel Laws again, though. Carnereid down that left-hand side, cutting in now onto her right foot. Beats... Oh, actually, I'm not sure who that's a touch off. Beats Fisk. Bonner.
Yeah, there's a flick off Bonner's head there. An important block as well. That could have been sailing in. Aaron Cuthbert will lay it in there. It goes through the traffic, headed back across goal. Struck now by Walsh, but that's just into the breath of Liverpool players in front of her. Bright.
Aaron Cuthbert.
Cuthbert using her body well to hold on to the ball. It's Sandy Baltimore. I always love Baltimore's dribbling position. She's so low. It's difficult to deal with.
Nagano gave her a lot of space there, and Baltimore didn't seem to use it. She could have got got a much better shot away there. 30 minutes has very quickly turned into 20 minutes. But Chelsea's pressure has definitely ramped up a little bit. Surely now this is where you'd expect to see Wrighton and Hermano and Macario coming on. Surely.
Yeah. Baltimore. Finds Vika captain.
Because yes, obviously Pitt will argue you've got to think about whether you need subs in extra time, but Chelsea's mentality should be
carries well, and now it's a throw for Chelsea on this near side.
But Chelsea's mentality should be they won't go to extra time if they bring those subs on.
Yeah,
we saw Emma Hayes did it in last year's League Cup final. Saved the subs to extra time against Arsenal, and it was too late. Didn't work. Von Passor has to just be bold, make the changes, and back your players to win the game in normal time. 18 minutes to go.
Right. Into Bronze. Bronze and Baltimore still on the wrong sides at the moment, by the way. Chance now for Carnereid, who pokes it to Beaver Jones, who twists and turns and shoots it over the bar. Chance of Chelsea again, just go back in.
Another really good opportunity for Beaver Jones. She's looking very sharp, leading that line now for Chelsea. Again, really good footwork in the penalty area.
So good, everything perfect. The finish just needs to be a little love. Laws.
Wow.
Would have been difficult to beat there, but close to Maggie.
Fine margins. Really fine margins. Lovely little drag back.
Not over by much. Not over by much.
Yeah. Beaver Jones is getting closer and closer to Chelsea finding a winner.
I feel like I always come in at normal time. Either Chelsea's pressure is going to
think
come to
if Lord
something, or Liverpool will break.
I think Lord just got booked, by the way,
Yeah, for time waste.
for time wasted, which isn't good for her because Liverpool, that's really early to pick up a yellow. Because they've still got 17 minutes left of normal time. I know, but now, in her mindset, she can't time waste.
Right, sends it forwards. That's going to go straight into the hands of Laws. Now they'll play Evans. Tries to play it forward, cut out by Captain, picked up on by Walsh. Into Cuthbert. Nuskin, sorry, holds onto it well.
That
Walsh.
had to be quicker from Walsh.
Bronze. Now Nuskin. Yeah.
Had so many options in front of her. Decided to take it up so the Captain just lay the pass out wide.
Gives it now to Nuskin. Ball in, headed towards goal. Saved by Laws.
Another really good stop from Rachel. Laws Carnery does quite well from that far out to generate that power behind the header. Nuskin's just got on there on a free roam, I think. Finds herself on the right-hand side, but it's a great crossing. Not a bad header from Carnery. Well claimed by Laws.
Yes. Chelsea 16 shots to 5 in this game, but they've registered just 2 on target.
Wow.
Liverpool 2 on target as well.
That's the difference.
They've not tested Laws enough. I think that was probably a 3rd on target and 17th. But
when they have tested her, she's pulled off some good saves. I think she's done very well commanding that area. But as you say, Chelsea should be hitting the target more. Sonia knows that. And again, I asked the question with 15 minutes to go, where is Brighton? Where is Hermano? I get they've both been injured recently, but surely they've got... I mean, again, I guess, you think of that extra time. If you bring them on thinking, they can play 10 minutes, but then they end up having to play 40 minutes because of extra time, then, potentially that's not doable. But
I think they should be able to cut 45.
At that point, why are they on the bench?
Get him involved.
Yeah.
Get a goal. I'll finish this in normal time. Place to be. Here is Aaron Cuthbert. Now Bronze. Fine, sends it forwards. There's Bjorn. Right. Chips down the line. Able to hold on to it there. It's generating Carnery.
Got to be better from Carnery. That got to be better. Still time for either side to find a winner.
Chelsea 63% possession in this game to 37%.
Second half's been all Chelsea. First half was a competitive game.
That's jumped a good 10% there in possession alone. Captain. Here's Cuthbert. Takes aim, and I thought that might be a second for the Scot. But it's just over.
Another good opportunity. Cuthbert can't quite keep it down. Again, though, Chelsea knocking on the door but not finding the target. It's another good one. Just a touch. Didn't really set her up well enough to get a shot away there. The touch was too sideways for me to have an attempt from there. Well, I'm not quite sure what's happened here, but someone's gone in the book. We were too busy looking. I think Sandy Baltimore's been booked. Not quite sure what for. We missed that because we're watching that Cuthbert attempt. We're going to get to see the free kick. What happened now? I don't know what it was because it's... Oh, never mind. Baltimore's been booked. Camera man's all over the shop. Just filming different things. Oh, sloppy.
And Chelsea can use this. Throw in deep in the Liverpool half.
Got to go quickly. Got to throw it quickly.
Nuskin makes it happen quickly. Captain now. Lets it run to Beaver Jones. Beaver Jones did too much in there and Nagano will clear it away.
It's a quick
Howe holds it up. Bjorn wins it back. Deemed a foul by the referee.
Really good hold up from Howe. And again, just a little bit rookie that from Bjorn. Don't need to just charge in there like that. Let her hold it up. You've got Walsh there for support. Just nibble. Don't barge her over like you did there. And end up throwing on the floor. Liverpool a free kick. They're playing this very well, the Reds. Played it very well.
As Lucky said, Chelsea really don't need this extra time. The schedule coming up, quite extensive. The schedule that's been quite extensive. And already a number of injuries. Another 30 minutes would not be ideal. Bring back Golden Girl.
Yeah.
Next goal wins. Here is Taylor Hines. Sends it down the line. Bronze will get there. And her clearance is blocked. But now she'll play. Bjorn. That goes up the
Good
line.
pressure.
Liverpool throwing.
But again, Liverpool are now put a pressure on because it's not quick enough from Bjorn. Not been one of
The
the better
urgency's
games.
just not been there from Chelsea
No.
across the board, really. You think 12 minutes left in this game. Need a goal
We've
to
seen one
win.
sub. Compare that to the Man City game where Chelsea were 1-0 down at the Etihad in the league, and we saw 4 subs within 25 minutes of the second half. Today we've seen 1, and we've only got 10 minutes remaining. If Chelsea are going to win this, it's going to be late. But again, this season they've proven time and time again that they do not count them out until that final whistle goes.
Bronze not out of play.
Last minute winner against City. Last minute winner against Everton. They've done very well. Very well. In the last minute. They need to do it again.
Bonner. Evans. Bonner again. Now Evans.
Oh, well,
Hines. Almost lose it there.
Gets
So
away
Bronze. Now, poor pass from Evans. And Chelsea can use this. Lucy Bronze. Again, where's the urgency? Chelsea's back line has stood still. Bronze trying to carry it forwards.
messy.
You need to see the space behind her there and just turn. Hines keeps it in touch,
That's
then
goal.
takes it off.
Apparently not. But Chelsea have got the ball, so they'll keep playing.
Captain.
Again, got to go. Got to go, Chelsea.
Bronze touches to Viva Jones. Tries to take on Evans. One back by Liverpool. Here's Hines. Now Capox. Down the line. Cut out by Cuthbert. Brilliant from Erin Cuthbert.
Yeah. Absolutely superb. Has not stopped in this football match. She looks like the only one who wants to win this.
Now Bright. Nice layoff from Carnery
Really
to
like
Baltimore. Fantastic weight past that from Carnery. It is to get wrong. Bright. Baltimore. Looks to take on Olivia Smith.
Oh, really
Does
good.
well. Ball into the box. Chance for Beaver Jones. She's nudged. Captain.
Oh, Vika, captain.
Absolute
gets it.
mess of it. Slices it wide.
Just didn't think about it.
I mean, I want to see this nudge on Viva Jones. It's
Nothing wrong with that.
legal. That's
Vika,
so
captain.
poorly. Vika captain.
Gets it horribly
Gotta be
wrong.
better.
Just loses focus. Takes her off the ball and just worries about where she's actually putting it and completely gets it wrong. Big
Makes
chance
an
there.
absolute hash of that.
Big chance. Oh, Cuthbert brings it down brilliantly. And look at the space on the left-hand side for Erin Cuthbert.
Ball inside. Half a Liverpool player and back
Yeah.
into the gloves of Laws. Not a pass back there, went intention.
Really good defending, but again, someone in Chelsea. Erin Cuthbert is the only one on this football pitch at the moment that wants to win this football match.
Yeah. And I'm running.
Yeah.
Subs, Chelsea. Got to be a
don't
necessity
get it.
at this stage.
Bombast or subs have been brilliant this season.
82 minutes on the clock.
If anything, people have wondered why they've come so early.
So if we get a goal, it's 30 minutes less we've got to play. Bronze. Now captain. Walsh. Bronze. Carrying the ball forwards, Lucy Bronze. Just tries to stand up Hines here. Hines does well. Bronze trying to poke on through to Walsh. I mean, I can't understand why we were lacking a right winger.
Yeah.
It's quite a sort of bizarre sub that's resulted in a position there. We've crossed the ball in at the back post as Vika captain, rather than a player who would have been comfortable striking that ball.
Yeah. And Bronze is the one taking the throw. She's taking a moment because she needs a breather. I'm really surprised that Sonia Momostor has not reacted.
So that's stopped by Hines. Capox. Managed to win a throw.
Really surprised. Seems happy to go to extra time.
She's clearly not got anybody to beat.
No.
Hines takes the time out of the throw, and of course you will at this stage. Captain wants to take on Hines. We're lacking a winger on this right-hand side. We're because Captain picks up the ball, Bronze picks up the ball. None of them are taking on Taylor Hines.
No.
That's a player. I mean, no disrespect to Hines, but that's a player we've seen can be taken on comfortably. Surely that you put someone on that flank who will run it. It's Bronze. And again, Hines has got the measure of a Chelsea corner.
It's a good chance. Chelsea have looked pretty dangerous from set pieces at times today. Big opportunity, just over 5 to play. If Chelsea want to avoid extra time, it's now or never. Liverpool held firm so far in this second half.
Cuthbert, it's lifted in there, headed away. And Baltimore will try and keep this alive now. Cuthbert swung in well. Chance for Chelsea. Headed away again. Shot. It's blocked by our own player as Weaver Jones is the one in front of that one. Bright. Again, the effort's blocked. We'll keep it alive. Recycles it now to Walsh. Ball's got to go in the box. It goes backwards.
Walsh has got to put that in. It's too safe from Kira Walsh.
Bronze. It's pedestrian from Chelsea. Walsh. Bjorn. Bronze. Liverpool not coming out of their own third now.
No.
Captain trying to make a bit of room. Walsh. Bright. Walsh. Into Nuskin, tries to poke one across to a teammate. Howe wins it now. Liverpool could break. Kapox.
Really good hassle from Cuthbert.
Kapox again. That's blocked by Nuskin out now for a Liverpool throw.
We've seen one change from both sides in 85 minutes. I can't believe it, to be honest. Neither side has decided to bring on fresh legs.
Yeah.
When they've both got top players on the bench. Liverpool look to be turning to their bench. And that's Jazz Matthews getting ready to come on. I mean, Hines is waiting for a bus here. This is a yellow card.
Chelsea are complaining for.
No,
Someone's gone down now.
Is it the Rachel Laws sit-down time? Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Laws has
I
gone
know
down
it's nothing.
again.
I know there's nothing that you can be done about this because there's a genuine injury. Then you've got to stop the game. But they're taking the piss at this point.
Something with her left hand. She's just looking at her fingers. She hasn't had to make a save in the last 10 minutes. How on earth could she hurt her fingers?
Play on, that'll teach him. Kate ain't got her gloves on. Chelsea running forwards.
But again, why have Chelsea not made changes? So many options on that bench. Tegan might be
going out for a dummy jog.
Nothing wrong with her hand at all there.
Oh, we'll put a bit of this magic tape on it.
Can't even undo the tape. This is unbelievable. Well, no, it is very believable actually, but it's just silly. Chelsea's still not going to their. I'm stunned. You've got Guro Wrighton, Micah Hermano, Kat Macario, Mia Fischel, all sat on that bench.
And the players on the pitch look leggy.
Yeah. Well, Liverpool are going to go to their bench and bring on Jazz Matthews because they want to hold on to this result. Yeah, so Macario, Hermano and Guro Wrighton are all warming up.
Smith off though.
I mean, that is the biggest sign that they are just playing for penalties. As someone told
it goes to penalties. They've taken their penalty taker off. It's like they don't realise it's an FA Cup semi-final.
Yeah.
Why would you take off?
They get Liverpool a point.
If this goes to extra time, their biggest threat is now on the bench. If this goes to penalties, their best penalty taker is now on the bench. What is the game plan for Liverpool?
Liverpool want to walk
other
back.
than to just hold on for as long as possible and frustrate Chelsea?
Yeah.
I know she's been injured in the run up to this game, but at this point in the game, I think you've just got to keep going.
Yeah.
Have they got a game next weekend?
It's bizarre. It's just the biggest game of their
They've got
season.
Brighton, but you'd think this would be the important one. You just risk Olivia Smith a little longer.
Scrappy from Chelsea. Again, Chelsea are knackered. Chelsea are absolutely knackered.
May not matter though, taking Olivia Smith off if they get a goal now. Here's Hines. Manages to get past captain. Shot on target, saved by
Oh my days.
Oh my god, I think I got the bar in the end.
A completely mishit cross from Taylor Hines, nearly found herself way into the back of the net. My oh my.
That's pathetic from Captain and Bronze.
Yeah, here's the bar, bounces out. Wow. I mean, she gets the cross all wrong. It's a terrible cross. But crashes off the crossbar, nearly caught Hannah Hampton out. And that would have been one way to win an FA Cup semi-final.
Yeah.
Off the bar. And Chelsea survive. Not been good enough from Chelsea to try and win this game. There's been no changes. There's been no action. And now, as we approach the 90th minute, Liverpool are just getting on the ball and are just seeing this through. 8 minutes.
That's important. Time now for Chelsea. Time to find a goal. But they've got to move this forward quickly. They've got to be more urgent. They've got to give it 110 because the effort's just flagging.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's been a long game. It's a hot day. But it's an FA Cup semi-final, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Run that extra yard. Just feels like Chelsea have set up to go to extra time since about the 70th minute.
Subs are now coming, it looks to be.
They've got to.
Watching
Well, that's live.
just
Apparently.
a randomly zoomed in angle. Yeah, it looked like Wrighton and Macario.
The camera's gone freehand.
Yeah, I have no idea what the cameraman's been doing today. Just been pressing loads of buttons, I think, and just seeing what they do.
Oh, well, why is it so zoomed in?
I don't know. What's going on here?
Nuskin. Here's their player on the right hand side. We don't know. Here's Bronze.
Just press zoom out.
He's discovered the zoom feature. He's having a go. What's happening here? Captain. Delivers into the box. It might be cinematic for Chelsea's winner. It's not. It's headed out.
They're zooming in every time someone picks up the ball, and they're zooming out once they look like just keep it steady.
Beppa2 says, want Chelsea to bring on fresh legs, as we've been asking for the last 20 minutes.
No
One
idea.
sub in an FA Cup semi-finals. Take off your striker for a midfielder
No
when we
idea.
need a goal. Riddle me that one. Ball in from
Baltimore.
Sunday Baltimore. Walsh keeps it up in the air. Head away by Kapox. Walsh.
Go backwards.
Carnered.
Got to deliver it. Everyone's stood in the penalty area.
Walsh. Good ball into the box. And that's out for another corner.
Chelsea building pressure now. Really building that momentum.
14th corner of the game for the Blues.
Wow. How are they not scored? Even though they put a shot on target from one of them.
Oh, just got over.
Baltimore.
Swings it in. Headed away as Bonner rises highest. Cuthbert puts it back in there. Mess from
Another
Liverpool.
corner.
Another corner. Don't know how Hines is trying to claim that. I don't know why he
No.
let it go out of play and then claimed it. Quite clearly came off Jennifer Bonner.
Chelsea keeping the pressure on now. Got to keep being relentless. The subs aren't coming the way. They'd all just sat on the floor in the technical area.
Baltimore. Ball into the box. It's headed away. Bronze will fight to get
Really
there.
good.
Love that from Bronze. Walsh. Bronze.
Deliver.
Got to go in the box. It's not a convincing.
Didn't need to stop. Just needed to swing it in.
Yeah. Well, she wanted to play into Walsh and that could have just been driven across the area, but
I get that Connery's not tall, but why is she the player sat on the halfway line?
she can cross, but I don't know. because they've got Carnery sat on the halfway line and Walsh just sort of scanning around the box. Should have just swapped those two round.
Yeah.
Baltimore, brilliantly physical. Burst into the area, that's blocked.
Needs to cut it back to the penalty spot.
Yeah.
You had Nuskin and Carnery sat there waiting.
Towards the front post. I don't know why. Brian taking quickly. Baltimore beats one. Can she get the cut back? Delivered it.
There, Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1. And the Masters of the late goal come up with another one here. Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1.
Aggie Beaver-Jones in stoppage time. It's the 94th minute. Delivery from Baltimore, header from Aggie Beaver-Jones, and Chelsea lead in this FA Cup semi-final. Liverpool lose it at the death. A horrible way to do it. Chelsea had probed for 45 minutes, and finally it comes in the 94th. Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1.
Better late than never, and a player in red-hot form with the biggest chance that Chelsea have had in this second 45. It's a brilliant header from Beaver-Jones. Quality from Baltimore. Bursts into the space, puts the ball in there. Beaver-Jones is unmarked. It's a brilliant header. And that is late Liverpool heartbreak. But for Chelsea, they will not care. 91st minute against Everton. 95th against Man City. 94th against Liverpool. That is how you win trophies. Because they keep going to the final whistle. And Chelsea, once again, in Bon Pastor they trust. We question the substitutes, but that is why. And now they come.
And muted but definite celebrations from Sonia Bonpastor. Captain and Beaver-Jones to the bench. Macario on in her place.
What Chelsea score?
And it's Guro Wrighton as well. So now Chelsea have some attackers on the pitch.
Oh, we've just scored a winner, so let's bring... What is going on with the camera, by the way? Why are we now on the wonk?
The cameraman's directing something over here.
Wow. 3 minutes to go. Have Liverpool got anything left? No, because they took Olivia Smith off, and that is why you don't take her off.
There you go. Ball goes forward. Macario in the hunt. Competes for it. Chelsea got to get back in now as Liverpool lump it long. Header won by Millie Bright. Baltimore hoofs it the other way.
That's Chelsea's turn to sit deep and just smash the ball out of Kings Meadow.
Right.
Right.
That's exactly what Millie Bright will do.
That has gone...
Well, it's gone in the Chelsea end. They're not getting that ball back quickly.
Aggie Beaver-Jones. What a player. Again, in the big moments.
She stepped up so many times this season for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Such an underrated player. Enderby came off of Capox as well as they pushed for a winner. You'd think they might take off the extra defender they put on, but that is too sensible.
Fair enough. They decided to park the bus and try and hold on. And
I know. What was the game plan?
Yeah.
By taking off Olivia Smith, what was the game plan?
Because they would have had to hold on for another half an hour.
Yeah, Casey's mum wants the stream. Therese McCabe's in the chat. 2 minutes. Indeed, 2 minutes to hold on. I don't think it is Katie McCabe's mum. And Hannah Hampton is doing a Rachel Laws.
Oh, she looks so injured. I think she's sunbathing. But yeah, Chelsea, and people will get frustrated. And this is, it depends how you look at it. Because I know and Arsenal fans will do this, and other fans will do this. Will say that it's luck, but scoring goals in the last minute. But yes, there is an element of that. But again, it is about
because their clubs can't. Jealousy. No.
Yes, they do get fortunate sometimes. Liverpool there, it was terrible. It was really poor marking. But Chelsea don't stop.
But it came from 45 minutes where they put Liverpool under genuine pressure throughout. And eventually, that has to give.
Such a good header.
Something has to give. And yeah, Chelsea found the goal.
Such a good header from Beaver-Jones. And you talk about the likes of Ramirez and Kurland and Shaw having this box presence. But that from Beaver-Jones is absolutely brilliant. It's her movement that means that she doesn't have to be that big, scary striker. She just drops a yard or two off of Bonner and Matthews, and then she has the time to place the header past
really powerful header. Past Laws with no chance.
Underrated. Her contribution to Chelsea this season has been absolutely... And England, a brilliant international break, has been in sensational form this season. She's only 3 goals behind Alessia Russo in the league. That speaks a lot about the season that Beaver-Jones is having. And again, in the biggest moments, we talk about the likes of Cam Ramirez, Can Wrighton, can those big games... Well, how will Chelsea cope without Lauren James? It's Beaver-Jones who steps up again.
There's a lot of just boot the camera. It's still less wonky than the broadcast has been today.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick it up in a minute. It's like going through.
We've got to zoom in on that and zoom out again.
That would be good. Baltimore here with the throw-in.
Any minute now, you
Down the
feel.
line. Smashed forwards by Millie Bright. Obviously, there will be some more additional time
Yes.
with the Hannah Hampton.
And the
see NDP and Bjorn there competing for it. Bjorn put it out of play. Chelsea got to get back in now. Liverpool will put the pressure on. Thrown in. Howe loses it to Bright. Bright knocks it out of Kings Meadow, and that one is onto the main road. But there is another ball handy, which Bright, I think, is looking to send into the same direction she sent the last one. Ball goes into the box from Liverpool. Head away by Bjorn. Hooked away by Nusken. Liverpool will look to recycle it again. Blocked by Nusken. Ball goes to Nusken again. And
Takes Capacaro out.
carrying it well. The referee's whistle will sound surely soon. Back to Laws. Macario puts the pressure on. Long from Rachel Laws. Header from Millie Bright. Out of play.
We might as well play
We're
extra
ticking to the
time.
100th.
Might as well play extra time at this point. Well, you've got 20 minutes more to get there. Go to pen.
Chelsea's mentality, their winning mentality being tested to the last by Liverpool. Can they hold on? Millie Bright dominant in the air. Herbing against Baltimore. Baltimore wins. Out for a Chelsea throw, and there sounds the final whistle. Chelsea once again will head to Wembley. FA Cup finalists. Once again, where they'll meet either Manchester City or Manchester United. Join us tomorrow for that one. But a huge win there. Liverpool, they ran them close. But ultimately, Bon Pastor's machine keeps going on. And Chelsea with a huge, huge win.
A last gasp winner, which once again keeps those quadruple hopes alive. They fell at this stage last year. No such problems, though, in 2025. A brilliant result. They fought for that. It was a very, very competitive first half, but far better side in the second. And it eventually paid off. Another trip to Wembley for the Blues, another domestic cup final, and credit to Liverpool because they put on a very, very good show. They were really, really competitive in the first half. They were valiant in defence in the second, but they just couldn't hold on as Chelsea huffed and puffed. And, well, it's another final for Chelsea. They've got a semi-final next weekend, and as they get to the crunch time, it's the Blues and Sonia Bon Pastor who are delivering the results once again.
Well, we've got some train tickets to book because Wembley, here we come. FA Cup final awaits for Chelsea. That, though, is going to wrap up our coverage today. We'll be back tomorrow with Manchester United versus Man City. So join us from 2:45 for that one. Going to be a very good game. Thanks everyone that's joined us in the stream this afternoon. 88 watching live. Fantastic to see. Hope to see all of you here tomorrow for the Manchester derby to see who Chelsea will play in the final. And then, of course, we'll be back on Monday to review all the FA Cup action from this weekend. That, though, is everything from us today. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.